Modus Super Series Internationals Pairs Champions.
And it's double Dutch delight.
It's the Netherlands!
The Netherlands are into the final. Well, that is absolutely incredible. Scott Campbell in a 9-dart shootout has found 2 180s.
And the ball. Oh, that's beautiful. The use of the marker. Bullseye here. Brilliant. Awesome from Dawson.
Canada.
This double tops could hurt him. It does, and what a 157.
And at long last, John O'Shea. 3 times a 9-darter.
It's touching.
Here we go then. We have hit the jackpot at the Modus Super Series. It is night 1 of Group B in the International Pairs Week, and Adrian Lewis is going to make his return to competitive darts, and it's all live from the Modus Live Lounge in Portsmouth on Pluto TV. Hi there, yes, the long-awaited return of the 2-time back-to-back champion of the world, Adrian Lewis, has finally arrived. It feels a little bit like Christmas Day, doesn't it? It's one we've been waiting for. He's going to be partnering Steve Beaton for the England team this evening in Group B on this International Pairs Week, which Laura Turner has been watching, and I think this was the night that we were all waiting for, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. As you say, we've got Adrian Lewis here, but then you couple him with Steve Beaton. That's 3 world titles up on that stage just in the one team. So, you know, the high expectation, but I'm confident that not just the Team England, but I think all the teams may deliver something really special tonight for us.
Yeah, and it's been a special week already. But look, we're going to talk lots about Adrian Lewis, but let's just reflect on this afternoon for a moment, because maybe it was surprise packages that sort of ran the day. Denmark played well, but Switzerland were the standout team.
They were. They gelled really well from the absolute off. They looked confident, comfortable, and we were all talking about Stefan Belmont, but he was backed up really well by Bruno Stockley. You see the 1-3-6 there. They just worked as a team that when one missed, the other one was there to pick up the pieces, and they deserve to be top of the table. Yeah,
they are in first place. Denmark and Wales joint second on 6 points. Wales, of course, beaten finalists last time around. Germany came in with a different pairing and got 4 points. South Africa, a much better day. 4 points for them, but Scotland only 2 points. Could be out of it, but they have been written off before, so we won't do that. We know, of course, that one team will be at finals night because the Netherlands are reigning champions, won Group A earlier in the week, but Group B, as Laura's alluded to, looks absolutely stacked with quality. USA, of course, that England team featuring Adrian Lewis and Steve Beaton. Ireland, Sweden and Canada. I mean, Sweden and Canada have both got Super Series champions in their teams. Is it a foregone conclusion about any of these teams going through?
I think it's making the case of the two that don't get through, because you can make the argument for every single one of those teams. For me, it's pairs is a different dynamic. I'm sure they're all quite comfortable with it, especially the likes of Sweden and Canada. They've had 3 days playing in that kind of format. We obviously know the accolades of Adrian Lewis at places like the World Cup. So it's just how they get on and if they can hit the ground running, because Group B, obviously 5 teams, there's less games, but there are more spots to play for.
Yeah, certainly is. Look, we have to talk about Adrian. 2-time champion of the world, 4 World Cup wins with Phil Taylor, but he's been out of the game for 2.5 years. Here he is, preparing for tonight. What does he bring to this place? What does he bring to darts in general?
He's just one of the legends of the game, isn't he? As you mentioned, the accolades that he's won, but he brings with him, he's a pacey player. He's exciting to watch when he goes up on the stage. We've got that level of expectation, but again, I think you've got 2 of the most natural throwers pairing up together in Steve Beaton and Adrian Lewis, and I think most of us just can't wait to see what he can do. I know away from playing on the competitive side, he has been at exhibitions, but it's just exciting to have him here.
Yeah, and the amount of titles that he's won, including many big ones as well. Those 4 World Cups obviously will aid him here representing England. European champion, UK Open champion, of course, a back-to-back world champion. In that period of 2011, 2012, he probably was the best player in the world, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. And like you say, he's had that hiatus the last couple of years. But you know, he was, even prior to that, he was still up and around it, always in the top 32. We've seen him on those big stages. He's got that experience, and he's got so much that he can bring here. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to just getting him up on that stage.
Yeah, and maybe he says he doesn't know what to expect, but the bookies certainly think they do. Look at this, England, odds-on favourites in this group. You can't really split the rest of them, to be fair, but should England be that short?
Yeah, look at what they've done. And I do agree. I think, you know, that they are the standout pairing. They are the standout name. We've seen it even at that recent World Cup, though. The best players together, unless they gel, then that doesn't always lend itself necessarily for the best results. But I've got confidence. Steve Beaton and Adrian Lewis, you know, they would have been playing against each other for many a year and would know each other really well. So hopefully that lends them into good stead.
And there are other things to talk about tonight. It's not just the Adrian Lewis show, although people like me and you are going to build that up. But the first match, for example, is Canada against USA. Now, that's going to have a little bit of spice, isn't it?
Yeah, North American derby, isn't it? And one that I'm sure a lot of people will tune in for as well. I've got Jeff Smith. Obviously, he's recently just picked up the championship title just last week. We've seen good things from Alex Spellman, Jason Brandon making the semi-final of the last edition of the WDF World Championships as well. So there's a lot of quality in that field. And they would have played against each other. CDC, there's probably quite a bit, especially for those two teams personally riding on it. It's bragging rights, isn't it, in the back room? Yeah, absolutely is. If you are going to have a bet this evening, please gamble responsibly. It's 18+, gambleaware.org. Right, the moment you've all been waiting for, Adrian Lewis's return to competitive darts. He's going to take part in the second match of the night when England play Sweden. But it's time to get the Group B action underway as Canada take on the USA. Yeah, let's go. It is time for this eagerly anticipated Group B to get underway. It's just past 10 o'clock UK time. Adrian Lewis is in the practice room getting reacquainted with Steve Beaton. England will play Sweden in the second game. Ireland will be on stage in the third against this team, USA, featuring Alex Spellman, twice a semi-finalist on the Super Series stage, and Jason Brandon making his debut, but he really did light up at the Lakeside. He had a fantastic run over in the North American Championship as well. Jeff Smith, well, his most recent feats, many feats that he's achieved in his career, but was on this stage just almost 2 weeks ago now. He became the Series 11 champion, and he said, I'm going to bring my mate Dawson with me from Canada, and we're going to win the international pairs as well. And they have kind of grown into the week, Canada. I think getting into Group B is a big boost for them, although it is kind of out of the frying pan of Group A and into the fire of this group, isn't it, Laura? It is indeed, yeah, absolutely stacked as we were talking about. And this is a great fixture to get tonight's proceedings underway. Yeah, you've mentioned the accolades of all the players, but the one that we were probably most unsure of coming into this, because again, a bit like Adrian Lewis, Dawson Marshall, he's had that breakaway from competitive darting action, but he said he's come back into it and he is really up to win. Referee for this evening, first Paul Hinks, USA he'll be overseeing absolutely everything. Game on. It is game on. And Alex Spellman is the selected first thrower for USA. Now, many of you 55. May be watching stateside across the Atlantic. We are live on Pluto TV in Canada. And we've got a Canadian ace who didn't quite get the same fanfare after his break from darts as another participant tonight. But I tell you what, Dawson Marshall this week doesn't look like he hasn't been playing for a couple of years, does he? No, he doesn't. He thought he'd be nervous, thought he might have the kind of a few edgy nerves, but as soon as the referee says game on, that competitiveness comes straight back out. And I think playing with someone like Jeff Smith, someone who's got that experience, but that real level head, I think that's really helped as well. 55. They've been a great team. And team is
An important word this week. Interesting to see how others gel. Of course, John O'Shea's got a different partner to last time he was here. He had Shane McGurk. Now he's got Conor Heenahan. We know what the Swedes might be up to after their antics earlier in the week when... Well, if you missed it, so did they. But only the last dart at the bullseye for a 3-ball, 9-dart finish.
Well, the first one's in. Treble 19 is in for a 167.
127.
He saw Dawson Michelle there. He was nodding his head. I think he would have approved if Jeff Smith opted to go for it, but he just hesitated at the end and decided to set up for his partner.
44.
And it's a selfless
Canada car 40.
act in terms and a sensible one. When you are playing pairs, you do have to think about your partner that's coming up behind you.
20. USA car 153.
So waiting.
97. Canada car 20.
Jeff Smith ready to claim the first leg for Canada.
Being shown the first
Dead
leg, Canada.
centre. And the silencer gets his team off
Second
to
leg,
the
Canada
perfect start with a break of
Game
throw.
on.
I often think that the one little advantage of Group A teams coming into Group B is just that
80.
familiarity with the stage, particularly in a week like this when it's different. Alex Spellman's played here before, but not a pairs game. Although I have to say, the teams from across the Atlantic would have probably played
55.
pairs a lot more than the relatively local teams in UK and Europe.
I was just out in Florida a couple of weeks ago, and
57.
both Jason Brandon and Alex Spellman there. And to say that across the pond they run a lot of tournaments on their weekends could possibly be an understatement in comparison
100.
to what we play over in the UK.
Yeah, we like to keep things pretty simple, one tournament at a time.
Well, I think the thing that, especially in North America, that they have to contend with is, as much as 501 is one of their games,
99.
cricket is absolutely massive out there as well. So you have individual cricket, you have pairs cricket, you have mixed cricket, but then you have the same equivalent of 501.
43.
Arguably a more tentative start for Team USA.
59.
The first thing that I saw when I was researching Jason Brandon, obviously it's his debut, was his first win came at a 1998 cricket tournament.
Yeah, cricket is absolutely massive over in North America.
And when we say cricket,
96.
we're not talking about
Canada car 170.
maybe what some of the people here in England would associate. They don't get bats and balls out. Cricket on the dartboard.
134. USA car 148.
And it's Brandon at the crease right now. But he's not going to take this out, so a chance for Canada.
100. Canada car 36.
To double their lead.
Getting shot on the second leg,
Double
Canada.
lead they do.
Third leg, USA to throw first. Game on.
I've heard a few people say they had a fancy for this American duo, but Canada seemed to have
45.
the measure of them at the start of tonight.
I do think it's difficult though sometimes when you're coming out here, like you mentioned before, haven't played all week, whereas the Canadian pair have, and Nicole just getting used to
41.
the stage, settling in. You don't get a lot of time to settle in, especially in a Group B fixture.
Well, the demeanour of Alex Spellman is displaying
100.
evident disappointment, and it actually took Jason Brandon after his first visit there just to try and motivate Spellman a little bit. Tell him, we got this.
140.
How was Florida, by the way, Laura? Was it just darts, or was there a bit of Disney sprinkled in there as well?
There was a
85.
lot of Disney magic sprinkled in, a little bit of Universal going on as well. I'll be honest, it wasn't the most relaxing of holidays. I think we walked between 15,000 and 20,000 steps a day on average.
Wow.
85.
Perhaps not quite so many when we were at the darts, to be fair.
83.
I suppose it depends how far you got in the tournaments. And I know that in one of them, you got as far as you could go.
I did indeed. Very nice to pick up a title
65.
over the other side of the Atlantic.
Yeah, Henry Deacon alluded to it this afternoon. It actually is
100.
great to see
Canada
much
car
more
170.
variety in the nations involved this time around. Seen a few that we'd
98.
like to get across
USA
maybe
car
next year.
88.
Teams from Asia were mentioned, Australia, of course. Now, are the USA about to bring themselves into play? 777
81.
goes awry for
Canada car
Brandon.
72.
And Jeff Smith is ready to mop up.
Double 16.
56. USA car 7.
A let off here, but 7, not the easiest of finishes, and
No
couldn't
score.
make sure of the single
Canada
3.
car 16.
Well, Spellman is not himself so far. Him in particular, shaking his head still in the background as Brandon offers him some kind of almost conciliatory fist bump there. But Dawson doesn't like that.
No score.
Well, he went the only place he
USA
could go,
car
really,
7.
and it was going to be a wonder dart from there.
Getting shown
Now,
the
he may
third
be
leg,
throwing
USA.
second, Laura, but for me, Jason Brandon is playing the captain's role in this team.
Fourth leg Canada to throw
Yeah,
first.
Alex Spellman
Game on.
shaking his head, visibly not happy. And as you say, Jason Brandon just seems to be the kind of calmer of the two.
140.
But this is better from Spellman.
180.
Much, much better. The first maximum of the match.
And how
97.
quickly it can change. Here we go. This is better.
140.
Much better.
Sometimes you just need that little bit of a catalyst, don't you?
58.
Maybe Jason Brandon taking that leg, just what Alex Spellman needed to spur himself on.
$43.
Well, USA are first down to a finish. But Jeff Smith should be leaving something a lot
136.
handier if
USA
Dawson
car
Michelle gets back to the
138.
hockey.
So he's going the 19th. He's left an ocean of space to the left, but he fails to make a splash. And Michelle will step forward, hoping to
90.
restore that two-leg lead.
Canada car 70.
Double 8.
54.
Two
USA
consecutive
car
legs. And
48.
that target has eluded Dawson Michelle.
Yeah, it's been a bothersome one for him. Spellman opts for tops
Getting shown
and
the fourth
nails
leg,
it. And
USA.
suddenly the game is tied and all is well.
Fifth leg
For the
USA
United
to throw
States,
first.
who are tied at
Game
2-2 and have the darts in leg 5. And now you see Jeff Smith being the captain and saying to Dawson, look, it's not your fault. Because
99.
Dawson's probably thinking, well, if I did my doubles, we'd be off the stage now.
It's how you move forward within a match when you're thinking those kind of thoughts.
100.
It's easy for me to sit here, but you do just need to draw that line under and focus on the job in hand, and that is getting across the line, getting first to those 4 legs.
If you have tuned in to see
60.
the comeback of Adrian Lewis, he will be in action in the next game. Do not adjust your set. Lewis and Beaton
60.
will face the Swedish team featuring Andreas Harrison and Anton Östlund. That coming up next, and you'll see Adrian 4 times tonight. Group B sees
98.
each team play each other once on a Thursday night and the same again from 10 on Friday. 8 fixtures in total, and this could be one of the closest Group Bs any week here at the Super Series.
99. $44.
This match had the potential for Canada to kind of run away with it at one point, but they've levelled back up at 2 apiece. There's very little now to split them.
60.
The one thing that we always get from this International Pairs Week is the shirts, isn't it? What do you make of
83.
the American garment, Laura?
There's a lot going on, isn't there?
Yeah.
But I think the fact that, you know, the teams have gone out, they're getting their matching shirts, you know, it just shows the emphasis that they're putting on this
USA
tournament.
car 117.
I'm not sure we shouldn't have put out some kind of warning on the screen before they appeared. And are they going to turn it around? They've sent their warnings to Canada.
77. Canada car
117 could not
116.
be executed. How about one fewer? Big, big, big moment this for Jeff Smith, the Series 11 champion. Chooses to go to double 18,
Game
which he
fifth
so
leg,
often
Canada.
nails. And that's a breaker throw that puts the baton back in the hands of Team Canada.
Canada to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, and those are the kind of shots that really do hurt, because one dart in hand, Brandon couldn't convert the 117, then has to sit back and watch Jeff Smith take out the big 116, and now
95.
advantage once again, Canada.
And the beauty of this format as well, another little quirk is, of course, the fixtures are reversed, aren't they, the second day in this group. Now, if there
81.
is a little bit of rivalry here, this will be the last match of the group tomorrow. It could be heightened by then.
99.
Yeah, the group definitely has the feel that you might not realistically get any one or two teams
96.
running away from it. It could go right to the very end.
Although, as we saw, the odds compilers seem to think that Steve Beaton and Adrian Lewis are a class above everybody else, and who's anybody to argue based on their CVs?
83. $96. $60.
Yeah, despite not being able to find a treble, it is Canada down to a finish first.
$100. Canada car
Well, he wasn't
164.
happy with the 100, but they'd expect to be back. Oh, well, they would hope to be back, and they will be.
83. USA car 128.
Can Alex Spellman find a ton plus check out of his own? He can't. The first one goes really astray.
78. Canada car 81.
This is for the win. And Jeff Smith once again has left his favourite double. Fails to find it. Double 9.
Game shot on the
Canada.
match. Canada.
Claim victory over USA in the opening match of Group B on this International Pairs Week. USA started slowly, losing the first couple of legs. They hit back to get to 2-2, but Jason Braddon and Alex Spellman will have work to do. They'll return to face Ireland in Game 3. Canada pick up the points, but do not go anywhere, because coming next, you've all been waiting for it. It's the return of Adrian Jackpot Lewis as England take on Sweden.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yeah. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion, DD Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So receive the trophy. £25,000.
The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor?
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
Well, just when you thought you couldn't get any more darting legends on the stage, we've got another one for you. Adrian Lewis is returning to competitive darts right now, and he's doing it in an England shirt. Of course, a 4-time World Cup winner with the great Phil Taylor, who will be here on Saturday night. And Adrian Lewis is going to partner another great of the game in Steve Beaton. It's the moment everybody's been waiting for, and it is about to get underway. Anton Östlund and Andreas Harrison are the opposition for Sweden. I'm sure everybody is excited to watch this, and Laura Turner alongside me is no different.
I'm not at all. Cannot wait to see how the pairing get on. But I will say, Team Sweden, not a pairing to be underestimated either. We've seen some great stuff, including, as you mentioned in the first match, that attempt at a 9 darter. But not just your average attempt for a 9, to try and finish it on 3 bullseyes, and 2 of them went in.
Yeah, it was this man who had the audacity to go 3 bulls, although it seemed like a plan that the team had concocted together. Harrison hit a 171 on 19s after Östlund had hit a 180. Steve Beaton has made it to a couple of finals here, but is yet to cross the line, so he's brought in reinforcements for this week. Andreas Harrison, of course, has gone all the way at the Modus Super Series, winning the epic Series 7 final with a bullseye finish of his own. Well, the honour of calling game on for Adrian Lewis's competitive return will rightly go to another legend, the referee, Paul Hinks. Laura, it's a moment that we've all been waiting for. I'm going to ask you the difficult question. What are you expecting from Adrian Lewis?
Yeah, honestly, I think for me, Adrian Lewis, he's just got that natural ability. I have seen him out and about around on the circuit in terms of exhibitions, but this is different. This is coming back to a competitive format. I think Adrian would be one of those players that himself just kind of wants to see how things go. But
Game on.
And interesting, I quite like to see who goes first, and Adrian Lewis ushering Steve Beaton to the oche.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
134.
After you, Steve, after you. So you have to wait a little bit longer to see him throw darts. Can you remember when
60.
Andy Fordham played Adrian Lewis in his return to darts at the Grand Slam, and he hit a 180 with his first three, didn't he? That was amazing.
100.
Adrian Lewis hits 100. 100 average on his return, not bad.
That's, yeah, finding that first treble.
100.
And Adrian Lewis would have been, he would have played in so many different arenas, environments in front of crowds that we can only imagine. But this is a different environment here at the Super
97.
Series. You know, you've kind of packed in on the stage. It is quiet out in the arena.
He's got the serious face on so far, and he's up against some serious darts here from Ursland. But look at this.
170.
Adrian Lewis presented with the opportunity to reel in the big fish. Well, the fairy tale doesn't
98.
come
Three
true in the
Ricardo,
first leg anyway,
161.
but plenty of time for those kind of antics.
Give him time, Murph. Come on now.
57. England car 72.
Great dart from Steve Beaton for double six. Now double three.
66. Sweden car 104.
Yeah, narrowly misses both attempts at the double, and it falls to Anton Östlund.
Game shot on the first leg.
Well, he's been solid, hasn't he, in this leg? Anton Östlund has
Second leg,
taken
Sweden
out
to
the
throw
finish
first. Game on.
in three figures after hitting the only 180 of that leg as well. Little chat for Steve and Adrian
57.
in the background. I think they will do that. I think we see it with Devon and Carl in the afternoon. Plenty of conversation on the stage.
97.
Yeah, with their experience, they're not going to be ones to panic, but I did say it.
One of them.
We said
40.
it in the opening match. Sometimes just having that advantage of having played it earlier on in the week. We saw Canada getting that 4-2 win over the USA. Sweden
83.
have also played it all week. They're unlucky not to get through and top Group A. It was the Netherlands that just pulled away with it in the end.
Two of the great throws
One of
in
them,
darts as well, isn't
40.
it? We've not even touched on that. Steve Beaton and Adrian Lewis. Steve Beaton, silky smooth for decades and
99.
decades.
Sweden car 164.
And Adrian Lewis, I think he's one of the players whose style of throw really changed the game of darts. This could change this game.
139.
They're here to entertain, aren't they, this week?
Yeah, and they're doing a good job in their opening match of Group B.
94.
Good
Sweden
switch
car
from Lewis with
25.
the last, but it's opportunity Sweden once again.
'21. England car 128.
Well, it's an opportunity, an outside one, but it's a chance all the same for Steve Beaton and England. He can't take it.
63.
I actually think double
Sweden
two is a
car
very
4.
good double for Andreas Harrison. If he puts it beneath, which he doesn't manage, and double one's not a good double for him, because that could be slightly blocked.
No score.
And it did flick off the fly.
England car
So a chance here
65.
for Adrian Lewis to get the leg in the ledger for England.
Game shot on the second leg. England.
And get the leg, he does. One apiece. It's a break apiece. Back
Third
with
leg, England
Team
to throw
England
first.
throwing
Game
first.
on.
Yeah, Sweden there missing 5 in a leg that they dominated on throw, missing 5 at the outer ring. Could prove to be costly.
41.
I'll just give Steve Beaton a bit of a thumbs up after a slow start from the bronze Adonis.
93.
Oh, he's feeling good now. Oh, so effortless, so nonchalant. Adrian Lewis showing that he's certainly still got it.
180.
But Sweden once again just proving hard to shake off.
78.
So we've seen him hit his first double, we've seen him score his first max. And a lot of pressure, really, as much as he wants to
96.
just talk about, we'll see how it goes, it's just a bit of fun. All the pressure's on England in this match and in this group, no doubt about it.
105. Sridhar 132.
You might be able to even draw a parallel between how much it was talked up about with regards to the England pairing at the recent World Cup with the two Lukes.
92.
All the focus was on them.
Sridhar 97.
Didn't quite go to plan, but this could go to plan for Steve Beaton if he can find tops.
On the third leg,
And he
England.
does.
England take charge in what's a really good game of darts so
Fourth
far.
leg,
There's
Sweden
nothing
through
to
first.
separate the
Game
teams
on.
in terms of the averages. In fact, the 97 that's just been executed by Steve Beaton is the running average for both teams.
57. 81. 97.
I think both of them are showing that they're going to be there or thereabouts come the end of the group. I
41.
mean, to be fair, that's the first sort of poor first start we've seen Adrian throw. All the misses before have been high, and you could see when he had to move across the hockey, that's what caused him the problem.
140.
Yeah, it's been very competitive from both teams so far in the match.
100.
I
think for Steve Beaton, when those first two darts sit that close on the wire, to get one squeezed in underneath, it's a great last dart.
Well, just looking at the actual equipment of Adrian Lewis, the darts that maybe we never saw him throw with in his professional career, that really severe taper towards the end.
59. Sridhar 107.
.90 remaining, so that becomes 72.
51.
And he leaves Andreas Harrison quite handily placed. Steve would love to knock in a maximum here.
180.
Maximum it is. Mystic Murph strikes again.
And it will give Lewis a dart at tops unless Harrison finds it. Has to go left.
16.
But
England
he's left
40.
Adrian Lewis with a break opportunity. That's a good guide. Can't use it. Double 10.
20.
Chance goes begging for England.
Getting shot on the fourth leg, Sweden.
And was punished by Sweden. 2 apiece.
Fifth leg, England are through
Oh,
first.
he does look
Game
a little
on.
bit annoyed by that.
One of them, 40.
Can't take the competitor out of someone, can you?
Absolutely not. You wouldn't be back up there and doing this if you still didn't have that competitive edge. Yeah, I think the frustrating thing for AD would have been just then was Beaton hit the
91.
max. They got the opportunity, just wasn't able to convert. It wasn't far away.
$66.
Yeah, just a good look at that dart there, that taper towards the end. Also using the sort of more modern equipment in terms of the flight and stem all being one piece.
81.
Steve Beaton, one of the rare players to employ pear-shaped darts. On that visit, it's gone rather
24.
pear-shaped, unfortunately, for Steve at that moment.
Yeah, and Ostland much straighter
100.
barrel.
Well, should really go for the ball.
133.
Got away with it. Because he's too good, Laura.
Can't tell him what to do.
99. England car 138.
Oh, Steve will set up Adrian here, but in between
98. Sweden car 130.
Sweden have a chance at 130. And this man loves a bullseye.
He needs to find the treble 20 benefits to get a dart. Well, it is one dart at the ball.
82. England
That
car
pinpoint
40.
accuracy we saw earlier on in the week just deserted him.
Well, Lewis missed 3 darts from here in the previous leg, but that
Being
one
shot on the fifth
is
leg,
the right
England.
side of the wire, and England are at the right side of the scoreboard at the
Sweden
moment,
to
3-2
first.
ahead.
Game on.
Starting to enjoy himself.
And I think sometimes you've got to remember that, you know, there's 2 of you up on the stage. You put all that onus and that pressure on yourself because you don't want to let your partner down.
45.
You're representing your country as well up on the stage here at the Live Lounge. Lots of little other things going on in the background.
And it is
80.
fantastic to have this England duo here, of course. No shadow on Steve West and Mervyn King, who made it to the finals
60.
night for England last time. So that in itself brings up an extra pressure, doesn't it? You've got to at least match what they did.
140.
Yeah, it goes back kind of to what you were saying earlier with Adrian Lewis kind of saying, yeah, I'll see how it goes. I'm telling you now, they will have nothing but the title in their vision.
140.
Well, this is a kind of free leg for
38.
England. They will have the darts in a decider if we do go the distance, which looks likely at the moment.
$95.
And if Adrian Lewis can find a couple of trebles here,
140.
which he does indeed,
Sweden car
just leaves them on
161.
a better 3-dart finish because 161, that demands perfection and that first dart goes very high.
So this then
90. England
For
car
Steve Beaton.
103.
is for the match. Treble 17, not to beat.
40. Sweden car 71.
It falls to Andreas Harrison to try and level up the match. It's the 1 dart at tops.
51. England car 63.
Quite fittingly, it now falls to Adrian Lewis to try and win the match.
$51.
Fails to
Sweden
do so, and
car
the
20.
frustration is evident in the 2-time world champ.
Game shot on the 6 leg Sweden.
And Sweden did not need another invite to try and make it 3 apiece.
7th final leg, England to throw first. Game on.
Well, there's
96.
little doubt in my mind that this matters to every single player on that stage. His World Cup record with Phil Taylor was incredible, wasn't it, Adrian Lewis's?
57.
Yeah, 5 appearances for Adrian Lewis between the years of 2012-2016, but 4 times a winner, 1 time a runner-up.
78.
And some really famous matches as well. Remember the singles game against Michael van Gerwen when it got all a little bit heated on the stage. The probably
140.
most famous is the England-Australia final, isn't it? When every single player had a dart to win the match. It was Lewis who stepped forward and hit it. It's Steve Beaton who steps up here. A 180 in a last leg decider.
Yeah, the World Cup, I used to enjoy those iconic scenes where they were actually sat in the back room, kind of near each other on those benches. So that's a
134.
real iconic picture.
147.
Well, Lewis isn't going to take out a fanfare finish
59.
in his
Sweden
first
car
match.
170.
This would feel somewhat unfair for England if they were to see the 170 go in against them. Andreas Harrison isn't going to inflict
60.
it.
England require 88.
No, it has to settle for 60, and it's 88 here for Steve Beaton.
Game
Oh,
shot
he's
on the
found
match,
it. He
England.
sneaked it in. And England have sneaked past Sweden. So it's a winning return to darts for Adrian Lewis, with plenty of help from Steve Beaton along the way. A really good game, actually, between these two nations. No doubt that there's going to be high quality in this group, and it's all smiles for Beaton and Lewis as they pick up the win in their first match of this International Pairs Week. 4-3, both teams averaging high, missing plenty of doubles and hitting plenty of 180s. Coming next, Ireland take on the USA.
.54, Charlie McGuire, 164. .44. .32, Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls of this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score, leaves himself on a 2-darter.
.26, Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
.40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts, but he'll be coming back.
The moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the
81.
stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
hockey with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
118.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that situation there, George
require
Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
.59. Charlie
Threw the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go!
Couldn't get the job
it.
done.
Got out the match, and the Red Dragon
George
Modus
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where we have 12 nations in action this week for International Pairs 2, and the last of them has just taken to the stage. It is Team Ireland that are about to take on Team USA. John O'Shea, the captain, the returning John O'Shea, who made the semi-finals of a Champions Week before, made it to the last Champions Week as well. He's up against the American duo of Spellman and Brandon, and this time, instead of being partnered with the WDF World Champion Shane McGurk, he's got the 9-dart king in these parts, Conor Heenahan, on his side. Laura Turner's just put her sunglasses on. Oh, there's some garish garments on that stage, aren't there, Laura?
Yeah, blink. Yeah, I was going to say, honestly, we were talking about the shirts for Team USA, but I think Team Ireland must have got the similar kind of MO because, yeah, it's bright up there.
Yeah. Looks like an explosion in a paint factory. Brings a whole new meaning to the phrase kit clash, doesn't it? But I'll try and concentrate on the darts if I possibly can. Well, USA probably starting to feel like they need to win. It can go quite wrong quickly, can't it, if you are in the position they're in where you play 2 of the first 3 matches. Ireland coming into it fresh.
Yeah, the position USA find themselves in, obviously 50% of the matches they're going to play in this session are already done in the first 3. So, as you say, what it does to you psychologically, if you don't pick up a win, you just feel like your day's kind of, well, your day is half over in terms of what you're going to do up on the stage. You have a bit of time in between, but not a great deal. For me, Team USA, they started to come back into that last match against Canada, but just left it a little bit too late. We saw the heights of a 14 dart leg mid-match, but
First leg Ireland
it wasn't enough and wasn't perhaps,
Game on.
just couldn't do it as regularly as they would have needed to.
Well, Heenan into bat first for Ireland. John O'Shea effectively puts him in. We've seen this approach quite
25.
often. The senior player has said no to the youngster, you go first.
$95.
USA continuing with their plan of Spellman chucking the first 3.
57.
And I think this is a different team dynamic when it comes to Team Ireland. As you mentioned, it was Shane McGurk in with John O'Shea last time, but
98.
John O'Shea actually normally partners Martin Heenan, so Connor's brother. They were quarter-finalists at the WDF Europe Cup before running into a quarter-final match against our very own Scott Mitchell and Dan Day, and it was the English pair that went on to win the whole event.
$129.
Well, decent darts by Spellman, but couldn't quite find the third treble that he needed to leave a finish.
77.
And 1 on the floor for the Joker, and it's no laughing matter.
That could prove costly because it is the USA who are down to a
59.
finish first.
$145. USA Ricard
A
120.
good pressure piler from Heenan. He's lost the line quite a lot tonight, hasn't he, Alex Spellman? And I think that's the root of the frustration
80.
that we keep seeing with the head
Ricard
shakes.
57.
Yeah, and he just did it with his arm there, indicating exactly what you said. Not happy with the way some of those darts are going.
37. USA Ricard 40. No score.
Right
And
line,
Ricard
but
20.
ends up in the wrong bed, and it's a real let-off here for Ireland if Conor Heenan can find double 10.
Well, he'd be an incredible hunter to find it from there.
10.
Yeah, it was
USA
awkward after the
Ricard
first, but
40.
after the second went even closer inside. Very difficult for Conor Heenan.
Same target now, but completely
30.
open, and he's missed it
And
by a
Ricard
mile.
10.
A lot of negative energy being emitted from Alex Spellman. And
Game
John
show on the
O'Shea
first leg,
jumps all
Ireland.
over it to give Ireland the lead.
Second leg USA to throw first. Game on.
And the thing is, when it's not going well for you, it's quite hard to shake off that negativity. It's always in the back of your mind. And even if you do find a way of having a couple of good throws or a couple of good legs, if you do slip up once again, it draws you straight back into that negative mindset.
Well, the man that's at the hockey now has hit 3 9-dart finishes here. 3.
Yeah, we're still waiting for our first pairs one, though. If he'd like to oblige, we'd be happy to watch.
So close, weren't we, earlier in the week? That'll be played over and over again. The Swedish effort.
48. $100.
Switching down to the 19s and does so effectively. That first start just acting as a bit of a blocker on the treble 20.
He doesn't like the light.
60.
Needed to try and force one in to leave a finish. It's not been a good night for USA so far. It could be about to get worse.
85. $60. And the car 134.
Two treble 17s would have left double 16 as it goes. Just looking to set up.
94.
John O'Shea is allowed the opportunity to return.
138.
And if he is, he's got a double. Still an if. Now it's a when.
106. And the car 40.
But that last start does put some pressure on.
Getting shown the second leg, Ireland.
But dealt with efficiently by John O'Shea.
Third leg, Ireland to do first. Game on.
Coming up next, we are going to see the two winning teams from the first 2 matches. Canada and England will go head to head. Jeff Smith, Dawson Michelle, Steve Beaton and Adrian Lewis.
60.
If we're going on the evidence of just the first matches, it seems the best 2 teams played in the last game. Both England and Sweden were excellent.
140.
Yeah, and I think from what we've seen this week and what we can surmise for the teams coming in,
58.
You can argue that team Sweden were possibly going to mount the hardest challenge for Beaton and Lewis, but anything can happen in darts. As we know, you can't afford to take your foot off the gas at any point against any of these players.
Well, the USA did find themselves 2-0 behind in their first match and got it back to 2-2. Canada went on to close it out.
$41. $100.
O'Shea had a disappointing campaign at Champions Week. He had a really bad first night in Group B, actually, which left him with too much to do. So he'll be hoping to avoid the same thing happening here.
50.
Yeah, he did happen to mention it when I had a quick chat with him earlier on this evening. It was the Irish pair that were first in the venue, hitting that practice board early on.
25. USA to car 170.
Again, just a drifter from Spellman. Goes some way to putting it right.
70.
Yeah, despite those loose starts, Jason Brandon will have the opportunity to come back to see off
57.
See off 100.
USA to car 100.
And again.
Getting shot on the third leg,
And
USA.
again. A brace of tops from Brandon.
Fourth leg, USA to throw first.
Sees him
Game
take
on.
out the turn. And sees USA get the break.
$58.
For me, neither of these teams perhaps hitting their best stride at the moment.
$60.
Yeah, I guess one of the things about pairs darts is it can be very, very difficult to find a rhythm.
60.
You're used to playing individually. It's the most played format. But especially the USA team, they will be used to
49.
playing in pairs. But I know the likes of Heenahan, John O'Shea, it's not a format that they're too adverse to either.
I think also as well, when you have a bad visit,
100.
you then got to wait 3 more visits to get back to try and put it right, and you can just dwell on it maybe for a little longer than you would in a singles game.
180.
That is the first maximum of the match, and it does go the way, and it's probably no surprise it goes the way of Conor Heenahan. You mentioned his 9-dart prowess.
140.
Well, the 140 gets the US to a finish first.
45. USA to car 143.
John O'Shea has managed to leave a finish for Conor Heenahan, but it's an enormous one, and it may not matter anyway. He will have a shot.
107. Under the car 167.
Well, he found the 180. Can he find the 167? Answer is no.
59.
So just
USA
like the
to car
first match, from
36.
2-0 down, the USA have the chance to make it 2-2. That time they did. This
Under the
time
car
they haven't.
108.
No, it was the ton plus checkout that turned the tide for Team Canada as Jeff Smith pinned a 116. Can John O'Shea find a 108?
54. USA to car 18.
Can't even find the treble.
No score. Under the car 54.
Wrong double.
$14.
And Conor Heenahan
USA to car 18.
gets nowhere near the target that he's going for.
Getting shot on the fourth leg.
Jason
USA.
Brandon does get Team USA over the line to level it up at 2 apiece, but so far we've had
Fifth leg Ireland to throw
mindless
first.
doubles
Game
from
on.
the USA team, 8 from the Irish team. Whoever comes out and loses this match, I think they'll look back on it as an opportunity missed because they've had chances. Both teams
100.
have had their opportunities.
$93.
Well, chasing the trebles, finding one. In the end there, Alex Spellman.
43.
I do feel like there's kind of 2 matches going on here, and you seem to have Heenahan and Brandon doing
80.
the heavy lifting for their nations. And the other 2 somewhat struggling.
And sometimes you do find
42.
that in a pairs format, and then what it can allow you to do, if you're the player that's in form, you feel the pressure to keep it going, and if you're the one that's perhaps not playing at their best, you feel that you need to step it up. But
125.
Alex Spellman finding a 2 treble visit there.
Yeah, but still left disappointed, and that last start kind of typified his evening so far.
100.
It must be one of the worst feelings for a dart player, Laura, when the expression I'm getting from Alex Spellman is he doesn't understand
99.
why his darts are doing what they're doing, and so many are drifting wide. I think he even said why when that last dart went to the 5 then. You don't want to be making adjustments during matches, do you?
No, and the hardest thing to actually adjust from, and obviously I don't know
100.
quite how Alex Spellman is feeling, but
USA Dakar 104.
if it feels good and it feels right when it leaves your hand, how do you adjust that? That's the biggest problem.
Well, this might make him feel better.
64. And Dakar 116.
Just over the top.
And how many times have we heard players that say, oh, I was out in the practice room, everything was going to plan, step up on the stage and it all goes a bit
96.
wrong.
USA Dakar 40.
Both Spellman and O'Shea missing the top target. Can Brandon break?
Getting shown the fifth leg, USA.
Yes, he can. And the USA, not only have they come back from 2-0 down, this
Six
time
leg
they've
USA
got to
to
3
31st. Game on.
and have the darts to pick up their first victory.
$81.
Again, another drifter, but interestingly there for Alex Spellman, there wasn't that big reaction, that big frustration. I think sometimes you do have to try and just keep that level head.
100.
Try and find the adjustment.
$99.
You have to say, Jason Brandon here, making his debut at the Live Lounge, has probably been
100.
the strongest of all the more experienced players so far this match.
Yeah, he's been good.
58.
And we were speaking about Alex Spellman. He's obviously disappointed with some of his darts, but he's actually not that far away, is he? It's that micro adjustment, and suddenly the 125 is a 180, the 85 is 100.
And sometimes you can just have that little bit too much tension in the arm. You might be just trying that fraction too hard, so it's just trying to find that sweet spot where you can relax just enough but get
40.
the best out of your throat.
Well, this time it's Brandon who shows frustration.
Bit of a dance
99.
move from steps. It's a tragedy.
I would come back with another step song as a pun, but obviously I don't know any, Laura.
Yeah,
180.
I don't believe you.
Dakar 160.
But that was a perfectly timed 180. If Conor Heenan can't see off the 160, he just drifts into the treble 5.
90. USA Dakar 43.
So for victory for Team USA. There it is.
USA.
The United States of America get the better of Ireland and put right their opening defeat of the night when they lost out to Canada. They lost that one 4-2, but they've won this one 4-2. Yep, there were plenty of missed doubles again, a little bit of nervous tension for both teams, but America are off the mark. Up next, Canada take on England.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy. £25,000.
The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion, one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series International Pairs Week, where we have two winning teams on the stage. Both Canada and England picked up victories in their opening matches. The English duo of Steve Beaton and the returning Adrian Lewis got a 4-3 victory over Sweden, whereas Canada managed to get the better of their North American rivals, the USA, 4-2. USA since went on to get a win, beating Ireland by that same scoreline. So now we're going to see which one of these two teams will find themselves unbeaten and at the top of the table. And you might think, well, it's a bit early to say that, but we will be a quarter of the way through the group and halfway through the night in terms of the
First leg
fixtures for
Canada
these
to through
teams.
first. Game on.
Yeah, notably though, in that last match, you could argue that it was more of a kit splash, but this is definitely a kit clash. All of them up there donning their red colours.
And it looks like there is a change of order for
96.
England as well. Adrian Lewis steps up to the hockey first. So I'm now
140.
wondering whether that was predetermined, a bit like the Scotland team have been doing during the week, or is Adrian just feeling confident after that first game?
60.
He should be. Played very well. Both players played very well indeed. But I could imagine in the back room that was Steve going, right,
43.
you're hitting the big scores, AD. You go first. You show us the way. There were a couple of times, weren't they, where Steve Beaton just didn't kick off with a big treble visit.
Yeah, both players averaging around 90,
43.
not much between them. In fact, Beaton had a slightly higher average, 91.29. Adrian with 89.54, but did miss a few doubles. He's always been a power scorer, hasn't he? I think it
100.
makes sense to have him doing that. He hit a 180, of course, in that opening match. And it was like he'd never been away.
98.
I have to say he's in good shape as well, Adrian.
$58.
And just looking at the throw, just reflecting on that first match, the rhythm looked good.
94. England car 160.
Yeah, rhythm looked good, looked comfortable. As you say, found some big scores, some finishes.
140. Canada
There's
car
another one there.
110.
It's that ease. I mean, the first start in that visit was a little bit more pronounced, and that was the one that didn't find the treble 20, actually. When he just lets them go
50.
like he doesn't have a
England
care in the
car
world,
20.
they seem to hit the targets. Steve Beaton never looks like he's got a care in the world.
15.
He can't hit the target.
Canada car 60.
Apologises to Adrian.
$40. England car
Yeah,
5.
had to have a good look there. That was right on the wire, but the wrong side. So, big one, double two.
No score. Canada car 20.
Jeff Smith steps forward, steady hand, Steady head. And hits last
Game shot
dart
the
in
first leg,
hand
Canada.
to put Canada ahead.
Second leg, England to throw first. Game on.
Both teams in that leg, 5 chances at the outer ring. But it was Canada that got over the line.
125.
But Adrian Lewis, again, these 2 treble visits, third one of the match, and we're only in the start of leg 2.
Steve Beaton said something that amused
45.
him there. I don't think Dawson Michelle will be too amused as he retrieves his darts.
60.
I know you were having a look at Adrian's sort of end of his PDC career, and they actually played each other, didn't they, towards the sort of
121.
abrupt end that Adrian's PDC tour card spell came with.
He finished up, didn't he, around March 2023, but in the
100.
February last Euro Tour stage that AD Lewis played on, he did face Steve Beaton. Steve Beaton beat him 6 legs to 2 with a 106 average.
95.
I mean,
If we asked Adrian about that, he'd say, well, when Steve Beaton starts beating me, I knew the time was up.
yeah, there has been a bit of
134.
banter, and there always will be, won't there?
Yeah, but fair play to him. As some of you would have seen in the interview that I did with him here on Pluto
54.
TV, he put his family first. That's what his decision was all about, and you could not knock anyone for that. Great to see him back on stage, though,
Getting shot in the
doing
second
things
leg,
like
England.
that, as Adrian Lewis levels up the match for England with the clinical 82
Third leg,
checkout.
Canada to throw first. Game on.
Just remembering that it is him throwing first. If you haven't been watching all week, that the rules are that you can change the order game by game of
86.
who throws when in your team, but not leg by leg.
$60.
In the back of my mind, that's probably one of the first scoring visits, 3 darts in hand, where we
97.
haven't seen a treble 20 from Adrian Lewis.
85.
Well, Beaton does get one. Not quite hitting the heights that they did in their opening match against Sweden. They're back in action next
58.
against Ireland, so we will see at least one team winning both of their first 2 matches. We'll see at least one team losing both of their first 2 matches.
85. $140.
Good 2 travel visit there by Jeff Smith to Dave Dawson.
95.
Michelle
Canada
on
car, 120.
potential 3 dart out.
$60. $136.
Super set
Canada
up
car 60.
from Lewis. May not matter.
$50. England car 40.
Yeah, great effort, but the wrong side of the wire, and it tops falls to Steve Beaton to break the throw.
Gain shot on the third leg.
Yeah,
England.
does fine. Double 10, third dart in hand. It is a break of throw for Team
Fourth leg,
England.
England to throw first. Game on.
They're getting into the swing of things here. Made heavy favourites by the bookies. Odds
60.
on to win this group. Favourites to win the week before a dart was thrown. Of course, Netherlands currently occupy that position, but that's because they're already through, the defending champions.
$140.
It'll seem quite familiar for Adrian Lewis, won't it? Because many of their battles were against the Netherlands. The World Cup of Darts,
60.
when it was Lewis and Taylor and Barney and Van Gerwen. That was a golden age, wasn't it?
Really, really was.
137.
And this match just seems to be warming up very nicely.
100.
Superb darts from Dawson Michelle. Adrian Lewis shows him some respect.
91. Canada car 44.
Oh, potential for an 11 dart leg for the Canadian pair.
Game shot on the
11
fourth leg,
darts it
Canada.
is. That's some response to being broken.
Fifth leg Canada to throw first. Game
They
on.
cancel out that break. It's just warming up. As Laura mentioned a moment ago, the standard seems to be rising leg by leg.
140. $55.
Slight grimace there from Adrian Lewis. Just the wrong side of the wires on the treble 20, but Jeff Smith
137.
back in again.
Well, they were
140.
out of this leg, really. Steve Beaton trying to get them back into it.
140.
Stunning this from Canada. They had an 11 darter in the last leg. They're on for another one here.
99. Canada car 84.
Yeah, it's Jeff that converted the 44 in 2 in the last. Now looking at his favourite double 18. Yeah, lurched forward there. I think he thought that was in.
76.
Well, to win Champions Week, he had 18 left. And he went 10 double 4 and hit it. This time he's hit the 10 and said to his teammate, you go and hit the double 4.
137. Canada car 8.
Double 2.
Game
Double
shot on the
2
fifth leg,
found.
Canada.
And Canada go within one of the match one of
Six leg
beating
England to throw first.
Adrian
Game
Lewis
on.
and Steve Beaton.
Adrian Lewis not messing around and getting to the
58.
hockey, but can't find a treble. And this is a big opportunity now for Canada. Dawson Michelle has really turned it on in the last 5 minutes.
60.
Yeah, it's just been those last couple of legs after Canada were broken. Yeah, they've really produced the goods.
78.
Yeah, they're certainly in the zone at the moment.
97.
Looking for a second win of the night.
60.
Adrian Lewis may have reigned on the Ali Pally stage twice, but right now this is Jeff Smith's palace, isn't it?
60.
Yeah, overall winner of the last series. Looking to dominate here alongside his
40.
teammate.
Well, he's not got the height
100.
there. Good last. Lewis going to the 19s to ensure a finish is left if he finds a treble, which he has.
133.
As so often when he's found one, he finds another.
He's still got that ability, that fluidity to just follow the dart in.
134. England car 132.
Treble 19 would have left the bullseye, and there's a real chance here
104.
for Canada.
Canada car 50.
And it's double 18. Bends the wire with the first attempt
32.
and just the wrong
England
side
car
with the
28.
second.
And it's left to Lewis.
$14.
But he fails to find
Canada
double
car
14
18.
or double 7. Well, I was going to
14.
ask how, and I don't
England
think
car
there was an
14.
answer.
Game shot on the sixth leg, England.
And it gave a lifeline to Steve Beaton, who obliges by finding that double 7 target. It
Seventh
smiles
final
all
leg,
round.
Canada to throw
And a bit of a
first.
shake of
Game
their
on.
head there from AD Lewis, kind of thinking, how have they leveled that up? Well, they have, and we do have a last leg decider. England involved in a last leg decider in their opening match against
140.
Sweden. It was England that edged across the line, 4 legs to 3.
100.
Well, he would have loved to have matched that opener from Canada. It seems like they're just kicking off with 2 treble turns, leg after leg after leg. And Steve Beaton is going to have to find something, because that's not only superb scoring, it's sensible scoring as well from Jeff Smith.
79.
If Dawson Michelle just stays straight, he's going to leave a finish.
Yeah, great team management from Canadian team captain. Well, he's felt more than just keeping straight. 2 in.
140.
I think that's the 3rd time that Canada have got down to a 2-dart possible out after 9 darts.
41. Canada car 90.
Yeah, and he can go wherever he likes here. He does love double 18, but he's decided to go the bull route. 225s to tee up tops.
Getting shot on the match,
and
Canada.
Canada conquer England. Adrian Lewis and Steve Beaton for the 2nd time tonight go to a last leg decider. They won the first against Sweden, but it is Canada who come out on top in this battle on International Pairs Week. They have won both of their games. We're now going to see 2 teams who are yet to win when Sweden take on Ireland.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series. All the action live here on Pluto TV. We've just seen Canada get the better of England, 4 legs to 3. Went right down to a last leg decider, but Canada have won both their matches so far. They go unbeaten. And at the other end of the scale, the 2 teams on the stage at the moment, we have the Swedish pairing taking on the Irish pairing. Sweden, they lost 4 legs to 3 in their opening match against England, whilst Ireland lost 4 legs to 2 against the USA. So one of these two are about to get some points on the board. From what we've seen so far, the Swedish pair, they pushed England all the way, averaged around the 90 mark, but for Ireland, they just struggled at times against the USA, averaging just under 74 a dart. We'll need to see that improve, because in their Group A campaign, Sweden were very, very good indeed. Finished second in the group behind Netherlands, who dominated throughout. Well, it's Sweden that will get us underway in match number 5.
57.
And in a similar move
45.
to what we saw from England, England's first match, it was Steve Beaton that threw first, Adrian Lewis threw second. They changed that order in the last match. Now, just noticed Ireland have opted to do the same. John O'Shea now throwing first.
Yeah, and I just wonder if it's just trying to find something.
100.
These 2 pairs that, of course, are playing for the first time this week. Seeing what works.
180.
That works.
$60. Through the car, 164.
Sweden in a position, even if had found the first
100.
treble 20, had the luxury of just trying to tee up. Very dominant opening leg.
$180. Through the car, 64.
Well, it was dominant. But it's not won.
32.
Yeah, huge slip, bit of frustration there from Östlund. The first one, bit of a wild attempt for all the treble 20 for the Joker.
Through the car, 32. Getting shown the first leg,
No
Sweden.
messing around from Andreas Harrison.
Second leg, Ireland to throw first. Game on. $140.
Bit of a reaction there from John O'Shea.
Well, he's a player who's played here on many an occasion. He'll know you don't want to be cut adrift. You mentioned obviously Champions Week here, where he did have a disappointing Thursday. Doesn't want to do the same here. But I think that reaction also tells you that he hasn't really been finding those treble 20s.
135.
Just get the sense that it was as much for Conor Heenan as it was for him as well. Like, he's trying to fire the team up, inject a little bit of passion and aggression into the match.
96.
Yeah, we saw it this afternoon, really, with the German duo. They were playing really well, but just not getting the results. And as the session went on, we saw the levels of energy up on the stage,
97.
the noises, the responses get bigger and bigger, and the results did start to go their way.
Well, it seemed to work in this leg. They are going to have 6 starts from 129.
100. Out of the car, 129.
I'll just leave it handy now.
89. $58. Out of the car, 40. Getting shown the second leg.
And again, another big reaction from the Joker.
Third leg, Sweden to
Might
throw
be
first.
called the Joker,
Game
but
on.
this and that was a serious leg. And I think he's so keen, he thought he was throwing first.
Yeah, well, didn't in the early World Cup of Darts days, didn't we have wasn't there a rule where the loser of the previous leg would throw first in the next leg?
96.
Yeah, and there are different things. When we played out in the US recently, we played in some of the pairs events and they actually balled up every single leg.
Now I understand the late finishers.
Yeah.
$85.
Does seem such an advantageous angle of entry that Andreas Harrison has, where the darts are pretty much totally flat, meaning that you can go above or below.
That's a perfect first start for Anton Ostlund.
180.
Second and third weren't bad either. But he's a very good, isn't he, at following that first start. He's shown that many, many times this week.
42.
Only he
Should we do
followed
count
with the
140?
third bullseye, Chris.
Harrison has options here. See, I think that's the problem with that route. He's going for it because he wants to take it out and he prefers that way. However, he's hit one treble there and still his opponent's, his teammates, sorry, he's on a two-darter. Whereas if he'd just gone the conventional 20s way, he'd be going straight for a double.
Yeah, I agree, but it was dealt with well in the end. 2 legs to 1 in favour of Sweden.
Fourth leg Islander through first.
So far, both teams been very dominant on their throat.
It's a great game, this. Averages 94 and 93.
180.
And it's getting better.
Well, any questions about the levels of play for Team Ireland after that first match? I think the fire is most definitely in the belly
100.
of John O'Shea.
O'Shea throwing first. If Ireland were to
58.
become the first pair to ever hit a televised 9-darter, that'd be a fourth on the Super Series stage from Conor Heenan. But he could do this one by only throwing 3 darts.
60.
It's all about the participation. I mean, if you can find 3 perfect darts after your teammates found one themselves, you deserve it.
133.
It's another good bounce back leg from Ireland, this. 1:30 after 9. They're going to get 6 darts at it.
60. Anna Carr, 130.
Yeah, and it's another leg where the team that's thrown first has produced some mammoth scoring.
78. $95. Out of the car, 52.
Double 16 for
It's on the
2-2.
fourth
Great leg of
Ireland.
darts from Ireland. Who have, to be
They
fair,
played
Sweden have
to
played
their first
exactly as
game
they
on.
did in that first game when they lost it to England in the last leg decider. But Ireland have come out like a different team here.
They have, and I wonder if it's just that sense of urgency that they both realise. Both the teams are the only ones not to pick up any points as of yet. They're both sat at the bottom of the table. They don't have anything to their name, and it feels already at this very early stage that it's getting to a point where you have to win, even if it's just for your own confidence going forward.
Yeah, there you see the numbers both in the 90s, but Ireland in the high 90s. And you then think,
59.
Do they stay with this order? Do they go, look, that's worked really well. We've played great then. And John keeps throwing first.
Yeah, well, personally, I think why would you change something if you're comfortable and it's working out?
140.
No double has been missed in the game yet.
134.
Yeah, this is the most pressure that
92.
I've seen from any team who's thrown second. It's Ireland down to a finish. You would think that Sweden would be on a better one.
140. Adrian 170.
I'm going to take out the big one. So Erson is going to step forward.
134.
Try and take out 72,
Sweden
but
car
under
72.
a huge amount of pressure.
Double 12. Oh,
60.
and that was an unfortunate
Adrian
deflection.
36.
They hit the dart, but Ireland haven't been lucky to have this opportunity. They're averaging in 3 figures. First time we've seen a double miss.
Being shown the
But
fifth leg.
it's not
Ireland.
one that matters. It's gone in that visit. And Ireland lead 3-2
Six leg
and
Ireland
have
in
the
third
darts
first.
to
Game
win
on.
the match. And interestingly, I'm going to say this now, Laura. After the first 5 matches, the most consistently high-performing team probably
79.
would be Sweden. They might have no points.
Yeah, there's still a little way to go in this, but Ireland have really turned it on for this match.
57.
O'Shea looking particularly determined. Of course, we've mentioned a couple of times the Thursday night on Champions Week when he lost all 4 of his matches, and the way that other results went as well meant it was almost impossible
60.
for him to qualify, which he didn't. Well, that is gold standard stuff, isn't it?
137.
It's gold standard if you consider that being a singles match where you can get into your own pace, your own rhythm, and you haven't got to worry about what your partner's doing. But in pairs, 16, 13,
100.
14, 14, 14. Outstanding stuff from both. But as you say, it could be that some of the biggest averages come from Sweden and they don't pick up any points.
Yeah, they'll be averaging, what, around 91, 92
60.
for the night. They may find themselves with an uphill struggle at the bottom of the table.
134.
Which looks increasingly likely now.
And you can vocally hear the come on from Conor Heenahan. Knew that was
60.
a big last start.
Adrian
Gives his partner
128.
ample opportunity to see out the match.
Yeah, John O'Shea has led the Ireland charge. Conor Heenahan has followed suit. And the performance of the evening is this one.
56.
And I wonder if there was an option maybe there from 90 to have gone for the bullseye for John O'Shea, because that treble 18 looked a bit covered.
79. And Lucar 72.
72 then for victory. For a first victory for Ireland. It's tops.
32.
It's over the top, and there
Sweden
is
Lucar
a
108.
chance for Sweden to stay in it.
They had a ton plus checkout in there first. Can they add the 108? Can they save the match? Just drops a bit low for Andreas Harrison.
92. And Lucar 40.
Well, we could see from the off here how determined this Irish duo were come into this game. John O'Shea in particular did not want a repeat of Champions Week when he lost all of his matches on the first night of Group B. They lost their first tonight,
30.
but he's just missed 3 darts.
Sweden Lucar 16.
And therefore 4 for the team in total to win this one. And it could change so dramatically here, because if Sweden hit this,
Being
which they
shown the
have,
sixth leg
which
Sweden.
he has, then they have the darts in the decider.
7th and final leg Sweden to throw first.
Yeah,
Game
you think
on.
that would have hurt the Irish pair? In a real place of dominance, had found a way of breaking the throat. 4 missed match opportunities come and gone.
96.
A good response from John O'Shea that it would have been easy to be flattened after they missed those 4 darts and gave Sweden this chance.
100. 40.
Yeah, Conor Heenahan there just trying to force a way through the first dart once again. When they land low, because the darts sit up high, they're quite hard to get over the top of.
126.
I needed the last treble.
100.
John O'Shea there just rescuing the score with the last dart, keeps them in contention.
59.
Well, there is still a chance here. Needs at least one treble.
93.
Gets it. Last
Sweden
dart
car
in hand.
120.
Sweden with the much more manageable checkout and the first opportunity at it.
85.
Just
Another
saw a
car,
little intake of air
128.
from Conor Heenahan in the background. John O'Shea steps up for 128.
Another one. Just like the other one for double 10. And that is so
108.
close.
Sweden car 35.
Yeah, that would have left the hand. That would have felt brilliant. Just a fraction away.
Double 8.
19.
Well, now
ADRIAN
seen
car 20.
3 players on the stage, mismatch darts.
Getting shown the match.
And
Alan.
Conor Heenahan lets out the biggest roar of the lot as he secures the victory for Ireland. It was a really good performance. Yeah, it got a little nervy towards the end when the match darts started being missed. Andreas Harrison missing a couple for Sweden after O'Shea had passed up his opportunities. But Conor Heenahan stepped forward and picked up the points for Ireland, meaning Sweden are at the bottom of the table with no points. Adrian Lewis back on stage next with Steve Beaton for England.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy. £25,000.
The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor?
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion.
We are halfway through the night in Group B on this International Pairs special week. The opening match was won by Jeff Smith and Dawson Michelle of Canada over USA. England, featuring Adrian Lewis and Steve Beaton, got the better of Sweden in the last leg decider. USA, Jason Brandon and Alex Spellman, they got a victory over the Irish duo of Conor Heenahan and John O'Shea before Canada got the better of England, and then another last leg decider saw Ireland beat Sweden. USA v England next, but when everybody has played two matches, there's one team that have won both of theirs and one that has lost both of theirs, and in terms of performance level, Sweden can probably feel hard done by losing each of those games in a last leg decider. Canada sit at the top. England, USA and Ireland all have one win apiece. And that's the man we've been waiting to see. Adrian Lewis back on the competitive dart scene. And we really have hit the jackpot with the fact that he's chosen the Modus Super Series to do it. But this is a big game for both pairs. You saw in the table there, they both sat in the middle, having won one, lost one, both by the same scoreline as well. England just above the USA by the virtue of winning one more leg. Feel like Lewis and Beaton have clicked quite quickly, but can they pick up the points?
First leg, USA to throw first. Game on.
Team England did well to get past a strong performance from Sweden in their opening match. They were pipped at the post by Canada, who played exceptionally well towards the back end of that match.
43.
But as you say, it's a real opportunity for someone to join Canada on 4 points. Whoever can pick up the win here.
Well, England have changed back to their winning formula of Steve Beaton throwing first. So they've alternated as the night has gone on.
60.
I'm trying to remember the pairs with Lewis and Taylor. Was it always Phil that threw first?
I mean, I can't explicitly
42,
remember,
yeah.
but I'm gonna take a guess and say yes. I would imagine so.
Didn't see as much of it then, did you? Because obviously it wasn't like the World Cup is now. You'd still play singles matches.
140.
Yeah, but I do enjoy a tournament where it is just pairs. It's a different format,
59.
a different dynamic.
$134.
Jason Brandon hit, continuing where he left off in that last match where USA got a 4-2 win over Ireland.
USA Ricard 124.
It's hunting a treble 16 there.
84.
USA in a good spot in the first leg. Beaton can't do anything but hit and hope from here.
44. USA Ricard 40.
Well, he's shaking his head. I think he was still shaking it as he threw that dart.
35.
That visit
England
went wrong
Ricard
with dart one, and he
135.
just never really recovered.
I wonder if that's the effect of having Adrian Lewis throwing straight after you, and it was one dart at the ball.
USA Ricard 5.
Absolutely. Nothing's safe.
No score. England
And this
Ricard
leg
42.
certainly isn't safe anymore. Well, it's slipping through the fingers of the US team.
Getting shown the first leg, England. Second leg, England to throw first. Game on.
Well, the police are at the door, looking for two men in red shirts who've been accused of burglary.
93.
Yeah, they definitely would have felt that they'd pinched that one, but it was clinical finishing, and it was finishing that let down Team USA.
Yeah, the darts at double were way off from Brandon, but then dart
60.
single missed by Spellman.
For me, Spellman's just still struggling just to find that straight
59.
line when he's going for those individual numbers. We saw it earlier on today. Has improved as the evening's gone on, but those slight lapses in concentration, that last one proved very costly indeed.
100. 59. $60.
USA's last game will be against Sweden. England will take on Ireland.
60.
That one could be a little bit tasty, couldn't it?
Yeah, we saw some fireworks from Ireland in the last match with a 4-3 win over Sweden, but they were very vocal throughout the match. So it'd be interesting to see if they come out very similar against England, how England would deal with that, because so far every team just been quite
44.
quiet in terms of what we're hearing from them, but they're just letting their darts do the talking.
$58.
That opens a door for England. 1, 2, 3, an awkward finish. And England will be on a much better one. A much, much better one.
150. USA to car 123.
And again, just that last dart from Adrian Lewis. No thought, no pressure, just straight in the target.
40. England car
Left
36.
beat on a double. And that's a good guide for him. Just do the same again. It's bound to go in.
Getting shot on the second
Gets
leg.
there in the
England.
end. 2-0.
Definitely a case of perseverance pays with
Third
that,
leg,
because
USA
both
to
those
third
darts
first,
you
game
could
on.
see bent the wire in.
And it must be hard, because you know, if I just throw at them, it's going to go in, but it must be hard not to sort of slightly adjust.
Yeah, you think to yourself, throw it exactly the same, throw it exactly the
135.
same. Steve Beaton still got that shape and that style of dart where it is slightly more
85.
bulbous towards the end, so when they do sit quite close to the wire, it is harder for them to get in there. There's more of a chance that they could bounce off and deflect.
137.
Hasn't been a reaction there from Adrian Lewis of a low dart. He doesn't like that.
57.
It hasn't been England's best performance, but they've looked pretty comfortable in the game. And in fact, two teams that are playing at a similar level, but one team just looks so much more comfortable than the other.
One of them,
Correct me
40.
if I'm wrong though, isn't this the third consecutive match where the Team USA have found themselves 2-0 down?
Yeah, with differing outcomes. One they've gone
One
on
of
to
them,
reel off
40.
the next 4
USA
legs. The other one,
89.
they got 2 back before losing the next 2 to Canada. I mean, I don't think this plan will work long term,
Getting
but
shot
it
on the
might
third
work
leg,
tonight.
USA.
That's a great leg as well. 11 darter for
Fourth leg
USA
England to throw first.
to
Game
get
on.
themselves into this game.
$96.
Don't forget as well, they did have ample opportunity to see off that first leg as well. Missed darts at the double from Jason Brandon, and that missed single number then by Alex Spellman.
96.
That's where he wants it.
100. $81.
Oh, good switch from Steve Beaton.
98.
England still looking in command. You can see there the Spellman dart just a little lower than flat,
57.
isn't it? Just pointing towards the floor a little bit. So if he goes high, then he's blocked it. Look at that for Adrian Lewis. If he goes high, and it's always been said about him, he opens up more space.
But it also shows you why there is that frustration if the dart does go low, because any portion underneath that treble 20 makes it very difficult to find a route through.
Finding it difficult to work out the route
28.
to leave a finish here. And that's not it, but by misthrow rather than miscalculation.
Steve Beaton laughing in the background as I think Adrian Lewis was trying to explain his
140.
thinking as he was coming back. And
I think it's more, it took you that long to work it out and then you just threw it in the wrong bed anyway.
139. USA to car 127.
So parity, treble 19, sets up the ball.
97. England car 40. Getting shot on the fourth leg, England.
Well, a missed 1-2-7 and game offers up the opportunity there for Adrian Lewis.
like
And I think
USA
he's still
to
shaking his head and
game
laughing
on.
about that treble one.
Well, he's repaired the damage.
$100.
And if you get 2 wins on the first night, then you know you're going to be well in
39.
the mix on the second. So with a game to spare this evening, England would be in good shape.
$140. 60.
Interesting option there from Adrian Lewis, because we've mentioned obviously when he throws low, he doesn't always tend to try and chase down the treble 20 just because of the way the dart lands.
57.
Couldn't find a route through.
$41.
And Beaton doing something similar. Looked like he blocked it and stayed stubbornly up top.
There are a few players that do that. Martin Adams is one that always springs to
60.
mind, where they just will not move away from that treble 20 target.
Lewis decides to move himself rather than move away from the target. Does
59.
do that in the end,
USA
but to
car
no avail. So it looks
144.
like this leg is heading for America.
Well, if it is,
96.
they will have to wait.
Steve Beaton should have started on 18s there. He'll hit a 140, obviously.
98.
Oh, okay.
USA car 48.
No. Wrong bed. Well, not wrong part of the
Getting shot
right
on the
bed,
fifth leg,
but the right bed
USA.
in the end.
Just fancied a bit of a double check out, and it worked well
Six
for
leg
them.
England to throw first, game on.
Adrian Lewis had a little look at him, you lucky something.
100.
Yeah, all to be in the mind of the dart players, because you do have this internal monologue, and you probably have more time to think, much more time to think when you're up there in a pairs match.
100. $39.
It just hasn't had the same accuracy, the same success rate on the trebles as he's had in the first couple of matches tonight.
59.
I also don't know what Adrian Lewis's evening routine is these days. Look, he's played long into the night. When he won the World Championship, he was at Ali Pali. The match finished after midnight, didn't it, against James Wade, the semi-final, because of the famous or infamous draft gate. He was then kept behind for random drug testing, left the venue at like 3-4 in the morning,
86.
and then won the world final the same day.
Yeah, just say being away from that kind of activity for quite some time. It's something we
137.
mentioned when, especially when players played like the full week, is actually the amount of games you get to play. That isn't the norm. Round robins aren't the norm that people are used to playing in.
He's kind of found the norm in his final visit to
100.
treble turn, which is what he was doing in
88.
the last match. And in doing it there, he set up Steve Beaton to win the match. He's gambled there. It's paid
Finish
off.
on the match,
It's
England.
paid off handsomely. As Beaton and Lewis have beaten Brandon Spellman, which means England see off USA. They go down 4-2 for the second time tonight, USA. They won 4-2 in their other match, but England, well, they've made it 2 wins from their 3. By no stretch of the imagination, their best performance of the night, but it is a victory, and that's what counts. Canada are unbeaten, and they're in action next against the winless Sweden.
Will it be for corner Whitehead?
It's on. Choices. Gets the treble 19 for double 12. And it
Shot in
is
the
wonderful
second leg.
from Whitehead.
Whitehead.
A perfect leg.
Now 141. 141 required. Finds that target. Finds the treble 19. Double 12 for a 9-dart finish. Oh, what a shot there from Danny Jansen.
Require 141.
First player to do it on a Saturday. It's on.
Double 12.
Danny Jansen is the first ever player to hit a Saturday night 9-darter. And just listen to the frenzy.
This is ridiculous. This is absolutely laughable.
Seal it with the ball. Oh, what's happening now?
Unbelievable. Incredible. Welcome to the party, Paul Greaves. But if they won 40, wasn't it enough? No, he's gone for 3 balls. There's one of them. There's the second. This will be amazing.
Yes! What a finish! Oh, Thomas Barnes, that has made my week.
Yeah, the next series is about to get underway. Monday morning it all starts. Jason Brandon and Alex Spellman of Team USA are staying around for their tilt at their singles title. Carl Gabriel's going to do that as well. Jasper Garrett, Brian Roman and Stein de Klerk is joining him in Group A, a debut for him. Kurt Parry back in action from next Thursday with Ronan McDonough of Ireland and Chaz Barstow of England, Carl Wilkinson, Daryl Fitton and David Sharp. Making up the lineup for Series 12, Jeff Smith, of course, the defending champion, and he happens to be back on the stage right now. Yeah, Smith joined by Dawson Michelle, and it's been a very enjoyable evening for the Canadian pair. They've won both of their opening fixtures, and they're up against a team that have lost both of their opening fixtures. Rather surprisingly, Sweden, Östlund and Harrison yet to pick up a point.
Yeah, well, the trailer for Series 12, so can anyone dethrone the champ? Well, that champ, as you mentioned, is Jeff Smith, and the question right now is, can anyone stop Team Canada from their run? They're 100%. They've won both their matches so far, and it will be something that Sweden hasn't been able to do so far this week. They've met in Group A. All 3 matches went the way of Canada. So it's something that Sweden's going to want to change because, as you said, they've played admirably tonight, but just haven't had the results, going down 4-3 in both their matches.
I think this man needs to take his share of the credit as well. Dawson Michelle has been very, very strong.
I think in that last match, when Canada took on England, England found a way of breaking the Canadians' throat. And then from that point, Dawson Michelle kicked off with either a 140 or a max and then maintained that level pretty much throughout the remainder.
One of them, 40.
Well, the 2 players that have just thrown back to back both have their name on the Super Series trophy.
100.
Nobody apart from Luke Littler has managed to get the name on it twice. There'd be some on it.
42.
And I wouldn't put it past either of those.
Now, quite often I say it's hard enough for players to get back into Champions Week because
96.
obviously the way you do that is by winning a weekly title, and that's proven difficult for many a returning champ. The fact that you
85.
look at the feat that Luke Littler did by winning those 2 back-to-back series championships is even more impressive.
100.
Yeah, we will fill you in on who's playing when week by week, but I can confirm that both of them will be in Series
44.
12. I'm not going to tell
Sweet
you when
car
yet.
145.
But both Smith and Harrison will have the opportunity to add another title.
$104. Canada car 130.
Smith has the opportunity here to add another leg.
Yeah, the first start made it awkward. He shifted along the ocky, trying to
57.
find the right
Sweden
angle of
car
entry, but
41.
still ended under that first start. So a break opportunity here.
$35. Canada car 73.
Well, it's a opportunity that maybe they didn't expect to get.
$53.
Couldn't be taken.
Sweden car 6.
I think this could be first start or nothing for Anton Östlund, because he blocks it, doesn't he, if he goes below it?
Yeah, really has blocked it, forcing him to move along the ocky.
Three.
Yeah, and you're right, that is not the ideal double for Anton
Canada
Östlund.
car 20.
4 darts missed to win the
So the
leg
first leg,
for
Canada.
Sweden. Canada step in and take it for themselves.
Second leg, Sweden to throw first. Game on.
And obviously, I've had the privilege of playing in a few of the women's weeks since being here, but I've always come in on the kind of latter group stages, and I do wonder if you're a team that's played in Group A
58.
and you haven't found a way of getting past on 3 occasions, you come into this 4th match. Is that something that would play on the back of your mind as well? I know individually, I've seen some players, they've actually come out and said, I just
140.
can't find a way past this particular player.
Yeah, I think that's a valid point, and
60.
Sweden, I mean, they were hammered emphatically by Canada on day one, 4-0. And have not been able to conquer them since.
57.
Okay, both of those other games went to last leg deciders, but they're a strong team, Sweden, and to have a sort of bogey team in there.
96.
I mean, there's not another team in the group they didn't beat. They even beat the Netherlands on Monday, so they're in a room with 3 new teams, and
41.
it's them again.
Yeah, and I genuinely think you try and push it to the back of your mind, but you get yourself into a position, and you mentioned the fact that they've been 4-3s. Both the results have been 4-3
30.
against Sweden tonight as well, and you just get to that point and you think, oh, it's just not really my luck. But they have the opportunity still. They've got this match, and then they have one more, the penultimate match of the evening against Team USA.
42.
And we said it earlier, if you can get 4 points, if you can get 2 wins, then you're going to be in contention going into the next day.
Yeah, the danger is tonight, because everyone else
59.
has picked up points. If you don't get any, you could be cut adrift. It's not actually often that you're totally out of it in Group B after one night. Never mathematically out of it, but I think John O'Shea's Champions Week was a great example where the 3rd place team had 6 and he had none.
100.
It's almost impossible, isn't it?
You just need to do everything in your power just to make everything a little bit more easy for
138.
yourself.
Canada car 121.
So they might be scratching their heads at some of the results tonight, but they've still got the opportunity to put it right.
And they've got an opportunity
53.
here.
Sweden car 60.
60 points.
Being shown the second leg,
This time,
Sweden.
no trouble on the double at all. And there is a bit of a reaction from Anton Östlund.
Third leg, Canada to throw
It's about
first.
as big as it
Game
gets
on.
from either of the Swedish pair.
Yeah, they are very measured in their reactions. They're quite stoic up on the ocky. As you say, I think that's a culmination of not being able to beat Canada, losing both their matches tonight 4-3, and the fact that they squandered 4 darts at a double in that opening leg.
100.
But I think the beauty of this group, and we discussed it right at the start of the show and throughout, is it's going to be so competitive. But I think the mentality before a dart was thrown
94.
from every team was that they expect themselves to get through. So maybe we're just starting to see the Swedish
100.
team just worrying a little bit, starting to think, oh, what if we don't make it to finals night?
Yeah, every team 100% would have backed themselves.
58.
England's final match of the evening will be next. They're going to take on Ireland.
Yeah, I do think
91.
that could have fireworks.
Yeah, they've been the Germany of the night, haven't they? This afternoon we saw the Deutschland decibels
100.
peak. And it's been O'Shea and Heenahan that have let out the odd roar this evening.
60.
We did see earlier in the week, I think we've mentioned it once or twice, Laura, that Sweden went for 3 bullseyes, didn't they, on 150?
Yeah,
99.
I'm not sure that's
Good
going to be
car,
the
150.
optimal route here.
Well, he did get closer when he went 3 bullseyes, just saying.
57. Canada car 93.
57 there levels up the scores in the third.
Double 16.
61.
He really went for that as well. It wasn't
93.
a sort of play it safe shot. Double, which is exactly what Andreas is trying.
57. Canada car 32. Getting shown the third leg, Canada.
Canada claimed the lead.
Fourth leg, Sweden to through first. Game on.
Oh, a little bit of firing up from Jeff Smith. I do feel
59.
like just the last couple of games that we've seen a drop in standard almost once we've passed the halfway stage of the evening. Maybe to do with the time. Although I had a chat with Jeff and he said he actually found it difficult
58.
playing the morning sessions this week because of what time it would have been back home.
Yeah, it's a major adjustment, isn't it? If you're getting
100.
match ready for a 9:30 start through Monday to Wednesday, and then you find yourself in Group B, which is a 10 p.m. start. It is a big adjustment, but I do think you get the day. You should be able to try and manage your time when you do get into Group
39.
B.
Yeah, he said that he's sort of playing on Monday, effectively 4 a.m. in Canada. Although he hasn't been
94.
home since winning Champions Week, so body clock should be well adjusted by now.
58.
There's probably also an argument that, yeah, Jeff Smith's body clock probably was adjusted, but playing 9:30 in the morning isn't naturally a time where players would be starting, again,
58.
unless you're playing over in North America.
He has had exhibition duties and things like that. I don't want to make out like he's just been partying
57.
ever since he won that trophy.
$138. 59. Sweden car 52.
Well, a match so far that you feel is just going with throw. And if that's to continue, it's double 16 for Andreas Harrison.
20.
I'd say out of the two of them, it's Andreas Harrison who's just looking slightly more exasperated in terms of how his darts are going. I know he doesn't give a lot
57.
away, but
Sweden car
slightly more
32.
laboured walk to the oche. Disappointment etched on the face.
Well, this for parity. Plenty of time to take it out. Doesn't have to go this visit if he can't find a way past that.
Getting
Oh,
shown
he
the
has.
fourth leg, Sweden.
A wonder dart from Anton Östlund to tie this one up at 2-2.
Fifth leg, Canada through first. Game on.
Again, just those few words of encouragement in between the legs from
56.
Jeff Smith for Dawson Michelle.
I'm telling him to calm down now.
96.
We've mentioned, obviously, that it feels very important for Sweden to pick up a couple of points going into tomorrow's proceedings. But equally, this could really start to see Canada move further and further away at the top of the table if they can pick up the points.
171.
Well, it just shows the measure of Jeff Smith, that, doesn't it? He's playing two roles here, coaching his partner and then doing the business himself.
180.
What a return from Andreas Harrison.
$104.
Smart darts from Michelle. I think of all the teams, the Canadians seem to play the more intelligent darts.
And I think it's all the more impressive, the fact that
55.
Dawson Michelle
Canada
hasn't
car,
really been
170.
playing that much, with any real regularity over the last few years. So to retain that knowledge.
52.
Or will they
Sweden car 170.
retain the advantage? Couldn't take out the 170, Jeff Smith. Harrison won't either, but he'll hope to leave it better placed than Smith has.
94. Canada car 118.
Double 19.
80. Sweden car 76.
Yeah, big moments incoming. The Swedes will need to find a way of breaking, and it could just be the one dart.
44.
Again, it's the
Canada
single
car
number.
38. Game shot on the fifth leg, Canada.
Yep, just the one digit when he wanted
Six
to.
leg Sweden to throw first. Game on.
Don't think I've ever apologised for a visual bit of bad language, if that's even the way to put it. But apologies if anyone was offended by anything
45.
they saw then.
Yeah, of all the teams, they have been probably the least expressive. So you can it's just that frustration coming out.
85.
And I think, especially for Anton Ostrand, the first leg, they had a chance to break and he missed that single number, and then he's done it again, but he's overshot
60.
it. First time he hit the 7 going for a 16. Next time he's at an 8 going for the 16.
$43. $59.
Well, 3 more games to come after this. Adrian Lewis and Steve Beaton will end their evening next against Ireland. John O'Shea and Conor Heenahan. Sweden will return to face the USA. And Canada
140.
will close the curtain on night 1 when they take on Ireland in game 10.
81.
Well, despite Sweden throwing first in this leg, it feels very much advantage Canada.
79. $180. Canada
The
car
accuracy
154.
that he has on the treble 20, you wonder how he can ever miss a big number.
Yeah, it needed another one to have left a shot
94.
for a double.
Sweden car 76.
Well, can Andreas Harrison rescue the situation?
Well, it's 61, isn't it? So you'll have to go 11 bull. And he's now missed a big number. Well, I think Sweden for the first 2 matches could say they were unlucky, but they've been the
44.
architects of their own downfall in this one.
Canada car 60.
And it gives Canada the chance to make it 3 from 3.
Game shot of the match, Canada.
Canada are unbeaten and moving ever closer to making it through to finals night. Jeff Smith, the Series 11 champion, could be adding another title to his name, this time part of Team Canada with Dawson Michelle. They've got 6 points from a possible 6 tonight. They're back in a couple of games' time, but next, England take on Ireland. Don't go anywhere.
.54, Charlie McGuire, 164. .44. .32, Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score, leaves himself on a 2-darter.
.26, Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
.40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts, but he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
jockey with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think he's
required
gone to
118.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that situation there, George Scaife wasn't even able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
.59. Charlie
Threw the entire
required
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy. Couldn't get the job done.
The match! And the Red Dragon
George
Modus
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife!
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, live and free on Pluto TV. 3 more games to bring you on night 1 of Group B on this international pairs extravaganza. And England's evening is going to end with a battle with an old rival in Ireland. Conor Heenahan and John O'Shea, who started to pump it up in their last match, which was a 4-3 win over Sweden. They're taking on Steve Beaton and Adrian Lewis, who have won 2 of their 3 games on a night that has been really notable for Adrian Lewis's return to competitive darts for the best part of 2.5 years since he stepped away from the PDC tour. Back here at the Live Lounge, and has played some decent stuff in patches, I think that's fair to say. But if they were to get out with 3 wins from 4, that would be a really productive night's work, wouldn't it?
Looks like England are through first.
Yeah, going in. We've said it before. If you can
Game
pick
on.
up 2 wins, then you know you're still going to be in the mix the next day. But if you can pick up 3, just that little bit of a more comfortable buffer.
69.
Interesting then that Steve Beaton has started first now in 3 of the matches tonight. Adrian Lewis started first in the game they
100.
lost. I wonder if that's just a bit of a superstitious kind of scenario, because let's be honest, the last game, which happened to win, was
100.
probably the poorest performance.
Yeah, but if you find a formula that works, and you could say the same thing with the Irish team. They lost that opening match, and it was Conor Heenan that threw
100.
first in that. Subsequently, since then, it's been John O'Shea leading the march. But dart players, yeah, we do tend to
81.
stick to what we like, and what we like is winning. So if you find something that works, yeah, you tend to do it.
100.
As for Ireland defeating their first match to USA, but then that really hard-fought victory and a brilliant performance against
58.
Sweden, who are now staring down the barrel of a pointless night. They've lost all 3 of their matches. They play USA next.
84.
And I think that's something that would surprise a lot of people. I know they've been very unlucky, Team Sweden, losing out in 2 last leg
58.
deciders.
Anna Nicole,
Didn't really click in the last,
117.
but this could be a big finish for Ireland, but not going to go.
36. England Nicole, 135.
We saw Adrian Lewis have a shot at the bullseye for this earlier this evening. Couldn't quite find it. But this time he has nailed it. Adrian Lewis showing
Second leg Ireland
that the skill is still there.
Game on.
Yeah, my instant reaction when that 25 hit, that is a bit of a blocker, but does so well. Shuffles along the oche and finds the right angle to pin the bullseye.
100.
And it's given Steve Beaton a bit of confidence there.
180.
Well, they've certainly picked it up here. 135 check out from Adrian Lewis, followed by a 180 start from Beaton.
60.
Yeah, and we spoke about how vocal the Irish team were in their win over
59.
Sweden. They were loud, they were boisterous, but the best way to stop that is to shut them down. And the 135, as you say, backs up with the maximum. That's done the job so
44.
far.
$78.
Well, despite getting the maximum at the start of the leg, in the end, Steve Beaton really needed that treble 19.
$135.
And that last start does England a real favour, doesn't it?
That means they've got at least 6 from the
44.
184. Going to need all 6 because Adrian Lewis couldn't locate a big treble.
$58. England car 140. $60. And the car 104.
So I've
48.
seen the
England car
135
80.
already from Adrian Lewis. Can he add the 80 and double their lead?
Well, he'll stay there, surely, because I was going to say it's
20.
a great
And the car
marker.
56.
I'm not sure how Steve Beaton will feel about that attempt.
Getting shot on the second leg, Ireland.
Well, in the end, it was academic, wasn't it? It had to go. Ireland level.
Third leg, England to third first. Game on.
No big reaction from John O'Shea that time around.
57.
I just had to double check my stats there, because I've just seen Adrian Lewis miss 2 darts
59.
at tops, but the checkout still reads 1 out of 1. It's of course because they weren't actually to win the leg, were they?
60.
Missed outside tops twice when he still had 80 left. That's the danger of going that way with 3 darts in hand.
One of them 40.
Yeah, probably show signs that Adrian Lewis is starting to feel comfortable, confident up there. As is Steve Beaton, second maximum of the match, and both going away, the bronze Adonis.
58.
That is perfectly pitched by Adrian Lewis.
81.
You'll be disappointed not to have followed it.
And England from a position of looking quite comfortable in this leg where they threw first. Could be under some pressure here.
174. England car
And they are.
123.
O'Shea will get the chance to break.
83. England car 70.
Two darts at double 8. Becomes one at double 4.
66. England car 40.
Ireland's chance goes begging.
Getting shot on the
Adrian
third
Lewis
leg,
takes
England.
his for England.
Fourth leg Ireland through first. Game on. One of them 40.
John O'Shea was kicking off with those kind of scores against Sweden, but giving it a real big roar to try and, we thought
100.
really to try and fire up Conor Heenahan as well as himself.
I
95.
wonder if we start to see that in this game. At the moment they're well in it,
60.
but they will have to break England at some point.
Had their opportunities in that last leg. It's only a couple missed at the outer ring, but
58.
been perfection on the double so far for England, despite the tops attempt from Adrian Lewis.
43. One of them,
Well, that
40.
was a well-timed high score recorded for Heenahan, giving O'Shea the opportunity.
134. Adukar 68.
Good use of the 19s from Lewis, but again could be academic.
No
But
score.
the
England car
Joker
164.
just skies it into the double 18.
And in doing so, busts the score, meaning they're back on 68 rather than a double.
52. Adukar 68.
So only one dart for Conor Heenahan here. Is that tops? And it's
on
in
the fourth
tops.
leg, Ireland.
And it's all square in this England-Ireland encounter.
Fifth leg England to throw first. Game on. $45. $59.
Fair to say, you could probably look at pretty much every team tonight,
39.
and they've shown signs of brilliance and signs of some of their best, but it's just been a bit up and down. It's been a really tight group, and we expected that.
What of the
Is this Team Ireland making their move?
$60.
Their first 180. Of course, we did see that brilliant 174 from Heenahan earlier as well.
41. $134.
That switch for Adrian Lewis, especially in this match, but pretty much throughout the night, when he has switched down, doing it with such pinpoint accuracy, as is Conor Heenahan at the moment on that treble 20 bed.
140.
Couldn't quite make it back to back, but he leaves O'Shea in a position that he's been in actually in the last couple of legs.
180.
Beaten
Adukar
from
81.
nowhere, has piled on the pressure. We've seen him hit the treble and then miss the doubles. And that's exactly what's happened
69.
again.
England car 43.
Another opportunity to break for Ireland, but it's Team England, Adrian Lewis, who has 2 in hand at the same target that John O'Shea just missed.
31. Adam Carr 12.
Well, Heenan's had a really good leg himself here.
Getting shown the fifth
Probably
leg,
fitting
Ireland.
that he's the one that wins it, and it is the break that Ireland needed. They will now throw for the match.
6 leg Ireland to throw first. Game on.
Or-
$30.
A win here would put them on 4 points with England. But they have another match. And it could be bad news for
140.
Sweden, couldn't it? Because there's another team getting to 6 points. If Sweden were beaten by the
45.
USA, then they'd feel they had a bit of a mountain to climb. I think they really need to win that last match. If England were to turn this around and Sweden beat
60.
the USA, they could actually find themselves in 3rd place come the end of the night.
Yeah, again, you just get to this point in the first session and there are some mammoth
100.
games that can really start to see the table take shape one way or another.
England have taken the darts in this 6th leg.
121. $100.
Yeah, and it's Steve Beaton who's responded really well in this with a 140 and a 121.
That's a great dart.
100.
Blocked it, but managed to find a way. Now, I don't think Steve Beaton's going to try the Adrian Lewis trick and go tops here.
136. England
I
can't
would
80.
be surprised if he did.
If he takes this out, he's going to turn around and tell
Getting
him,
shown the 6
that's
leg,
how you
England.
do it, pal.
So the final leg, England to throw first. Game on.
No banter. It's all about this last leg now. England find themselves in their 3rd last leg decider.
85.
Well, what timing this is from John O'Shea.
180.
His best visit of the match comes at the start of a last leg decider.
45. $140.
Yeah, the 180 backed up by Conor Heenan with a 140. Puts them firmly back in control of this leg.
100. $45.
Oh, the last start there just gives England some hope.
96. Adam Carr,
That last
136.
start should have been at the bullseye. 25 would have left Steve Beaton on a finish instead. Ireland have 6 starts, or had 6 starts
96.
from 136, allowing Heenan to set up O'Shea for the win.
Beaton just looking to
99.
put on a bit of
Adam Carr,
pressure.
40. Getting shown the match, Ireland.
And a victory secured for Ireland, meaning England end their night winning half of their matches. They're going to be in contention to get through to finals night. Could have been worse, could have been better on the return of Adrian Lewis. It could get much better for Ireland. What a last leg that was. 13 darter to win it. And they're going to be back in a couple of games' time. But next, Sweden looking for their first win, take on the USA.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where we are about to witness the penultimate match of day one in Group B. Sweden taking on the USA. We just saw Ireland get the better of England 4-3, and this is another match where the two teams who find themselves at the bottom end of the table, they're finding themselves already getting into that must-win territory, especially for Sweden. Sweden have played very well, very consistently, dropped off in the last match, but will probably be very disappointed not to have picked up any points, whereas it's been a bit of a mixed bag for the USA.
Yeah, started their night with a 4-2 defeat to Canada, then managed to get a 4-2 win against Ireland, and then lost 4-2 to England. In all of those matches, they led 2-0. Perfect start from Anton Ursula. You know what's coming next. Andreas Harrison is going to try and score 171 on treble 19s. And then Anton Ursula's going to go for 3 bullseyes.
133.
And he really wanted it. Look at him.
That's the biggest reaction we've seen, and they've lost all 3 of their matches.
They're here for one thing and one thing only. And they have lost them narrowly, 4-2 to Canada, but then 4-3 to both Ireland and England. Who, to be fair, England, they've lost their 2 fixtures 4-3 tonight as well, haven't they? They've actually ended the evening with a positive leg difference despite
42.
Winning half
Sweden
of their 4 matches.
Yeah, stays there for double 4.
Getting shot on the first leg, Sweden.
Yeah, clinical opener. 12 darts from the Swedish pair.
Second leg, USA to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, well, the drop-off didn't last long, did it? That's a brilliant, brilliant start for Sweden, who can get level on points with the USA as these two teams end their night.
40.
And everyone will be very much in contention. But I tell you what, if Canada can beat Ireland in the next game, they'd be pretty much through, wouldn't they?
One of them, 40.
Yeah, it's been a great night for Canada so far. And as you say, if they can round it off and go through the card, perfect start.
One of them, 40.
Before that, 140 from
41.
Jason Brandon. A quick glance at the stats screen we have in here, and Sweden were averaging 90 points more than the USA.
100.
Yeah, that is some golf in the averages, isn't it? To be fair, that first leg, I think Team USA were kind of on the back foot from the very off.
Yeah, 5 perfect darts using 2 different targets.
100.
8 perfect darts using 3 different targets earlier in the week.
$44.
Yeah, visible disappointment there for Jason Brandon because it's really opened up the door here. Andreas Harrison, he can find another one of those, and he does.
140.
Really does turn the leg around for Sweden once again.
$45. Sweden will count 80.
So 80 for Ursland.
60.
Can't take it.
USA will count 132.
He was looking for a 25 or ball to keep the shot alive, but it's a single 17.
41. Sweden will count 20.
This is more like it from Sweden. I haven't had a victory all evening, but halfway to one here.
$96.
Well, in the Group A stages, on the first day, it was Sweden that registered the only 10+ average that we've had in the pairs match They got a 4-0 victory over the Welsh team, 101.90 they averaged.
Playing to that kind of level here.
One of them, 40.
If you're just turning on, I tell you Sweden have lost 3 out of 3, I don't think you believe me.
58.
And even if they can find a way to win this game, it will still be a bit of a difficult task going in tomorrow, but it will keep them very much more in contention.
57.
I guess you also have to remember coming into tomorrow, then we've got the fixtures reversed. So the first fixture for these two will be this one. And if Sweden find a way of getting a comprehensive victory and you can find that scoring prowess, the finishing that we've seen so far in the match, kind of gives you that bit of, I like the idea of recency bias. You remember that last thing, that when you've left the building, your last memory will be winning and winning comprehensively.
Absolutely.
60.
And look, if results go their
Sweden
way,
126.
then they could be tied in second place before England even play. And maybe they wouldn't mind if Canada were unbeaten tonight and the other 4 fight out for 2 places pretty much
86.
tomorrow. One-way traffic in this game, though, it has to be said. As good as it's been from Sweden, it's been bad from the USA.
45. Sweden car 40. Getting shot the third leg, Sweden.
Yeah, and it has been really good. That finish there takes them back over the 100 mark.
Fourth leg USA to third
3-0 up and averaging around, well, it's been 45 darts for 3 legs, 100.20 the average for the Swedes.
One of them, 40.
Perfect adjustment.
100.
With dart number 2.
$96.
Yeah, saves the score with the last. And I do think in a group this tight, we haven't
91.
had any results that haven't been 4-3 or 4-2. And I think that just goes to show that every team has been playing at a very similar level to each other.
Yeah,
101.
Only real difference in standard has been this match. 140 to leave the finish, so has to stay there.
60. USA to car 164.
Forgot to point out actually that once again the USA went 2-0 down in this game, but this is the
94.
first time they've gone 3-0 down.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's not a tactic that most teams would try to employ. They did find a way back in one of the matches
100.
where they got over the line against
70.
Ireland 4 legs to 2.
$50.
150 will
Sweden
not be
car,
tried on 3
150.
balls. 57, 57, 36.
$118.
Well, it's a perfect setup.
USA to car
And the pressure
20.
is on here to avoid the whitewash defeat.
Double 5.
15.
Can't find it.
Sweden car 32.
Step forward, Andreas Harrison.
16.
And for once,
USA to car
nor can he.
5.
Yes, often a safe pair of hands. Must make sure of the single number. And that raise of the eyebrows just goes to show he has missed the single number on a couple of occasions today.
Game shown the fourth
Lands
leg,
a double.
USA.
Keeps the game going. And you've got to be in it to win it.
Fifth leg Sweden to throw first. Game on. $100.
It's just rock steady, isn't it, from Anton Ostlund? The throw, the stance, there's not a lot of mechanics that can really go wrong.
Yeah, particularly when he's just throwing at treble 20.
140.
You very rarely see him deviate too much. The times when he's made mistakes have been when he's been sort of going for single numbers around the board.
45. $59.
And when he gets it right, he gets it so right.
180.
Yeah, it's a perfect example, isn't it? What we were talking about on a perfectly timed maximum.
$123.
Oh, another one of those would be the perfect setup. Has to settle for a ton in the end. Team USA may just have a little bit too much to do.
89.
Sweden went into this match
Sweden
without a
car
victory
76.
to their name, without a point to the name. They've turned it on. And they've turned it into a win. They've turned it into points. A 4-1 success over USA means both of these teams end their night having won one of their 4 matches. And Sweden, by the scoreline now, have leapfrogged USA into 4th place. Last up, we're going to see Canada and see if they can go unbeaten when they face Ireland.
$54. Charlie McGuire, 164. $44. $32. Charlie require 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls of this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
require
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
It's the moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
hockey with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
180.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that situation there, George
require
Gay wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go
Couldn't get the job
Got
done.
out the match. And the Red Dragon
George
Modus
Skate.
Super Series Influencers champion, George Skate.
One more match then on this opening night of Group B action at the international pairs, and it is an opportunity for Canada to go unbeaten on this evening. And what a turn up for the Bucks that would be in a group like this. Laura, we were saying everyone's going to beat everyone. It's going to be close, but it's going to be one of those teams that were priced at 11-2 that could be top of the table, unbeaten, and pretty much with a foot in finals night.
Yeah, and you could argue they've probably been the most consistent, and they've been there for each other. When one has missed, the other one's been there to back up. They kicked off the proceedings with a 4-2 win over the USA, averaged just under 84. Backed it up with an 88.5 average, and that 4-3 victory went right down to the wire against England. A 4-2 win over a bit of an out of sorts Sweden. So as you say, they've got the opportunity now to go through the card, but also for Team Ireland, who would have been really disappointed at their opening match. They've really turned things around, and they also have the potential to end up with 3 wins.
Yeah, and that would see them be level on points with Canada at the peak of the pile. If they got a big win, they could actually end the
83.
evening top of it. We're seeing different ways to win matches from Ireland. Just in terms of demeanour, you noted it in that when they got
60.
over Sweden, they started getting really vocal, didn't they? And then none of that at all when they beat England by the same 4-3 scoreline.
140.
That 140 from Heenahan puts Ireland on 278.
97.
After O'Shea kicked off the leg with an 83. Dawson Michelle and Jeff Smith on 344 after
41.
2 visits.
$95.
Yeah, one treble visit there for Dawson Michelle, but keeps them in contention.
60.
You end up on the same points, Laura, but if you lose your first
93.
match and win your last 3, you probably leave happier than winning your first 3 and losing your last, right?
Yeah, it's exactly the same as when we talk about that first start going in a
59.
treble 20 and then only ending up with 66 points because it goes in the 5 and the 1. But if you start with the 5 and the 1 and you hit a treble 20, you feel so much better because you feel like you've rescued the situation.
140 out of
Well, that's a really
118.
good setup shot by Michelle. But it may not matter. Heenahan needs tops for a glorious moment, all on his own.
98.
Not to be.
Canada car 16.
And now in the reliable hands of Jeff
Getting shot
Smith.
first leg Canada.
He does see Canada find that early breaker throw.
Second leg Canada to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, it's a 16 dart leg for Canada. Dawson Michelle and Jeff Smith looking to complete an unbeaten night. Just a very slight delay here, a little gremlin in the system. I believe the gremlin has vacated said system. And we can get throwing again.
$100.
Hasn't seemed to upset the rhythm of Dawson Michelle.
$125. $43.
I suppose every team
134.
knows that they're going to be in contention tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be harder for USA and Sweden, having only picked up one win apiece, but they also know that they're only going to be
85.
one win away from third place, whether that be Ireland or England.
Indeed, and I wonder if you're kind of three chasing in the pack behind the likes of Canada and Ireland. What would be your preference? Would you rather Canada start running away with it, so you know there's kind of definitely 2 spots available, or would you rather everyone still remain in the mix?
Yeah, it could get so bunched up, couldn't it? By the end of the first 3 fixtures tomorrow, for example, there could be just a couple of points
43.
separating 4 teams. By
Canada car,
the halfway now,
170.
it could be neck and neck.
$98. Amilcar 99.
So this to level up, 19s to start. May go tops.
59. Canada car 72.
Another single, and now tops of Smith, just regripping.
32. Amilcar
Over the
40.
top in the end.
Falls to Heenahan to level it back up for Ireland.
Each on the second leg,
No
Ireland.
problem there for Conor Heenahan.
Yeah, it cancels out the break of throw as well.
Third leg Ireland are through first. Game on.
Yeah, interesting. Since that animation that we saw from Ireland in the win over Sweden, I think that was just all they needed
91.
really to pump themselves up. It's they've let it all out of their system and managed to get over the line in the last match.
27.
Well, a reminder that we have another double session of darts on Friday.
96.
At the times here in the UK. Afternoon session gets underway at 1 p.m.
99.
with the league leaders Switzerland taking on South Africa. 15 fixtures, and the top 2 will go through from Group C, and then this group returns at 10 p.m. Friday night.
121.
3 teams going through from Group B to join the defending champions Netherlands at finals night on Saturday.
100. $98.
Good last once again from Conor Heenahan. Means Brun O'Shea has a possible 2 dart finish when he returns to the Oki.
90. Amilcar 95. $55.
Well, despite the lingering arm left in the air there by John O'Shea when he missed tops, no real damage done, but there could be some pressure on the tops.
170. Amilcar 40.
Yeah, plenty of pressure.
$35.
And the pressure tells. I mean,
Amilcar 15.
Michelle was almost too accurate with the last dart, meaning that Smith has to tidy up here rather than being on a double. Chooses double 6. Gets
Game
double
shown the
6.
third leg,
Nicely
Canada.
done. For a 3rd straight break in this game.
Fourth leg Canada to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, and there was a point in that last leg. John O'Shea couldn't watch Conor Heenan throw for the double, and then looking at his feet when Jeff Smith took the oche.
140.
Slight little release from Dawson Michelle there. Not seen much of that tonight. I've been really impressed with him all week.
85.
Still got a great throw, showing that he's still got that bit of fire as well.
58.
I think he's another player similar to how we were speaking about Adrian Lewis, where he's just kind of coming here, seeing how how it goes. He has obviously shown some interest in coming back, maybe when there is an opportunity to play as a solo player as well.
60.
Yeah, it's been great to see. Spent the last couple of years just doing his day job, works in finance.
100. $133. 60. Canada car 100.
Now he's working on a checkout.
No, it's 110 not
50.
going to go, but it could
Canada
still
car
be a clean
156.
sweep for Team Canada.
Yeah, just the wrong side of the wire there for John O'Shea.
82. Canada car 60.
So the reigning Super Series champion steps forward to try to open up some daylight in this one. And Canada now are on course for a perfect night.
Fifth leg Islander through first. Game on.
Yeah, just looking over at the stats, there is a key telling point. And for me, that is 3 from 4 for the Canadian pair on the outer ring at 75%. But there's been 5 missed opportunities. And although that doesn't
43.
sound like a lot, it has proved very costly for the Irish pair.
$79. $69. $58.
Ireland looking to get themselves back in the match. They did throw first, but John O'Shea
58.
unable to locate the treble 20 or the treble 19.
$81.
Ireland won't roll over. They've shown that over the course of the night. I think one of the key elements, it's always a key element in darts, but particularly for Team Ireland, the timing has been pretty good.
And there's If on cue.
133.
It's a 2 treble visit from John O'Shea to leave his partner on 58, knowing he will be returning.
45.
Yeah, although
car 58.
Bit of a mad decision, wasn't it, to go for treble 13 on 73?
Getting shown the fifth leg
Maybe Conor just loves 58. Maybe it was a single 13 deliberately.
Look, those lapses of
Looks like
concentration, they
Canada's
do
first. Game
happen. I'm laughing because, yes, on that very stage, 73 left, I went the same way. Different outcome.
I didn't know that when I said it.
Yeah, okay.
140.
25 matches today, Laura, and not one lapse in concentration, so I'm not having that excuse.
Hey, that day I commentated all morning and played all
99.
evening. I think that's a good enough excuse. And the execution was there. I did actually check
True.
it out. And I didn't blink. I didn't think about anything. But I got a lot of ribbing and
57.
banter in the back room.
You should have just styled it out. Always go that way.
Jeff Smith
85.
just having a bit of a stretch and a squat in the background.
And not long now, Jeff.
Just always get a little bit dubious when the players start getting to the edge of that stage. Because,
58.
you know, it was the International Pairs one when Danny Van Tripe became Danny Van Tripp.
Yeah, it certainly was. He's managed to stay on it this week, and he'll be back on it on Saturday
80.
night, 7:30, finals night. The Dutch defence is on. Canada hoping to be there as well. If they win this match and win the opening fixture tomorrow, the same
56.
fixture, that will be it. They will be through. 10 points is enough to qualify.
Yeah, but still got a bit of a job to do here.
134.
And now you're hearing the Irish just starting to make a bit more noise as it gets to the business end of the match.
Yeah, it's that timing again, isn't it?
$60. Hanukkah 103.
To level it up. Well, it's not a complete disaster. 88 left.
$71.
Tidies it up in the end.
130.
But this could be it.
95. Hanukkah 32.
Well, this to force a last leg decider.
Would be the 5th of the evening. We've seen 4 already. I mean, half of the matches
Being
have
shown
gone
the
the
sixth leg
distance.
island.
And that is the case.
7th and final leg island to through first. Game on.
Canada were in this position against England. They won that match 4-3. Ireland were in this position against Sweden
100.
and England. Won them both 4-3.
Yeah, for Ireland on both those occasions, they didn't have the advantage of throwing first. They do in this one.
98. $45.
Disappointing return for Conor Heenahan. Jeff Smith looking to jump all over it.
99.
Jeff Smith's one of those players, he just looks absolutely unflappable. He's solid.
140.
As is John O'Shea, pins a 140. And I think this is where the experience of the team captains
100.
just try and help that younger generation of player.
$100. $64. Hanukkah 116.
So, Ireland to join Canada at the top of the table with 3 wins from 4.
Yeah, I think that lie of the first, it was just a bit awkward. He was checking if it was in. It was close, but couldn't get the angle and still trying to search it out.
40. Hanukkah 140.
Yeah, the last start ends up on the floor. It was that difficult. He was that determined. Oh, wow. Unlucky.
Yeah, now just make sure this last one's high
100.
and straight.
Hanukkah
Nearly drifting
76.
into the 5, but enough It's Heenahan here, 76. You think one dart at least at double.
It's been a really gripping game. It's double 12.
64. Canada car, 40.
Well, Jeff Smith, just under a couple of weeks ago, became the Super Series champion on his own.
No score.
Oh, and he's just missed 3 darts
12.
to take Canada closer to finals night as a pair.
Yeah, unbelievable. And John O'Shea, understandably, just taking a moment. Big darts incoming.
Getting shot on the match island.
Yeah, what a win. And what a turnaround. And what a night for Ireland. What a night for both teams. Ireland will be the happier, of course, winning that match to make it 3 out of 4. The same record for the team they've just beaten, Canada, and both are very much in strong positions to make it through to finals night. And you could be there as well. Well, it's been a night where Canada and Ireland have moved a step closer to booking their tickets to finals night this week. Ireland beating Canada in that final game. They're a nail-biting end to it as well. Canada missing the opportunity to win all of their matches, and instead the lead is shared in the Group B table come the end of the first night's play. Canada are top on 6 points, 3 legs clear of Ireland. England occupy the third and last qualification spot. That's Adrian Lewis and Steve Beaton, of course. And Sweden, well, only 1 win despite some good performances along with the USA. Canada missing the opportunity to go through the card, but I want to start where we started at the beginning of the night. Adrian Lewis and Steve Beaton, what have you made of them?
Yeah, it's been a mixed bag, really. We've seen some really good stuff. The 135 that we saw from Adrian Lewis, and yeah, you can see they've still got that. He's still got that real competitive edge. Perhaps just missing maybe a little bit of that match sharpness. And pairs, as we've mentioned before, it's that different animal, isn't it? Because you're not getting to throw with as much regularity. But yeah, I think we've seen some really good stuff. Made a strong start, and we just pipped at the post a couple of times.
Do you expect to see the level rise a little bit more the more that they play on that stage as a team?
Yeah, I think so. And I think they'll hope so as well, because as I say, we saw big scores, but then we saw just a few loose starts, a bit of frustration creeping in, which just shows me that, yeah, that there's obviously more levels, and they're probably seeing more stuff in the practice room, but just getting it out on the stage just hasn't quite clicked as well as they'd like.
A team that certainly has clicked this week is Canada. It could have been a perfect night, but on reflection, they've got to be happy with a 6-point haul.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the disappointing part will probably be for Jeff Smith, where he did have those 3 darts at tops to see off the end of the night with 4 wins from 4. But yeah, to come into a group like this and pick up 6 points, I think everyone would have come in. They'd be confident in their ability, of course, but you're looking at picking up 2, maybe 3 wins because it's so competitive. So yeah, to get the 3 wins, I'm sure that's a really good platform anyway coming into tomorrow.
Yeah, what will the approach be tomorrow? What do you think they'll need to do? you?
Yeah, more of the same. I think just hit the ground running. They've been really good. They've worked really well as a team. You can see Jeff Smith as well with Canada and with Dawson, especially just kind of geeing him up, cheering him on, just playing that captaincy role really well. I just think they bounce well off each other, and I think their styles suit each other as well.
Ireland, the opposite night to get the same outcome, lost the first match, but then won their final 3. And there was a point during that second game, wasn't there, where we're starting to think, is this going to go wrong for John O'Shea again because of that Thursday night he had at Champions Week? And then suddenly, he really got the bit between his teeth, and as a result, so did Connor. Yeah, it was a disastrous start, and I think they did really well to draw a line under that, because we know that they've got the levels that were much better than that first match. But as you say, they were very vocal in that second match. They felt it was important because both them and Sweden at the time sat on 0 points, so that kind of fired them both up. Got the win over England, and obviously got that last win, just got over the line in the last match as well. So yeah, I think they'll be more than happy, and probably happier than Canada in a way, because obviously when you lose that first one but win the next 3, you've got that positiveness coming into the next 8. Is the biggest surprise that Sweden only got 1 win tonight?
It is, considering how they played all week and how they've played today. They had one slightly off match, but other than that, we saw in the last match exactly what they can do. It was a comprehensive win in the end over the USA, but those first 2, 4-3, they'll be disappointed. But I think tomorrow they'll be dangerous. They've got a couple of points now, and that last win for Ireland, it just keeps the table really tight.
And what did you make of USA?
I think out of all the teams, they'll possibly be the most disappointed, just in terms of performance. Again, another team that we saw some good bits, but lacked that consistency. Started slow, ended slow. Good bits in between, but we know that they can play better than that. And you could see it more on it than anything else on Alex Spellman's face, especially from the start. They were drifting off. He didn't know how to correct it. So perhaps, again, draw a line under it. Still got those 2 points and come back stronger tomorrow.
Did they look the most disjointed of the teams?
Yeah, you could argue that, I think. I don't know how well they actually know each other. I know, obviously, they both play in tournaments and in CDC and across the US together. But, yeah, pairs are, like we say, different animal. And I think out of the two, it was Spellman that had the experience here, but it was probably Jason Brandon that just showed that more consistency. So, yeah, I think it's just trying to get it all to come together, but it's a tough task for them tomorrow. Yeah, 2, obviously, groups to finish tomorrow. Group C gets back underway from 1 p.m. UK time, and this is where the land lies. Switzerland, top of the table, Denmark and Wales hot on their heels. Do you think it's going to be 2 out of those 3? Yeah, it could be, but I thought Germany, they actually finished really strongly this morning as well. So, yeah, it's tight to call. Switzerland, they're looking unshakable. Denmark, probably that surprise package out of everyone else. It's whether they can come back and maintain it. I don't doubt they can't. They looked really good today, but you've got Wales breathing down their neck, and as I say, Germany as well. Yeah, we're not going to write off Scotland. We are not going to do that. Right, plenty coming up on the Modus Super Series Darts channel here on Pluto TV. Up next, we're going to see a dart swap challenge featuring Messrs Burnett and Beaton. Richie Burnett and Steve Beaton, of course, both in action this week. And we're going to see what happened when they swapped darts. Tomorrow, 2 sessions, Group C and Group B are finishing. 1 p.m. for Group C, Switzerland leading the way, and we'll see Adrian Lewis and Steve Beaton back in action from 10 p.m. Friday night. Saturday, the Dutch defence continues. The international pairs 1 was won by Jimmy Venski and Danny Van Tripe. They're back on the stage on Saturday, and Series 12 gets underway on Monday morning at 9:30 a.m. Well, this week is nearing its conclusion, but in this group, we're no closer to knowing who's going to make it through. Everything will be answered tomorrow. Goodbye.
Modus Super Series Internationals Pairs Champions,